close the door with the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three.
Lined into left field for a base hit. Hit in the air. That's going to be the second baseman. They have a chance for two, and they got him.
Run, the throw is in time for the out.
Lifted high into left field. Ball is way back, and that ball is way gone.
Halsted Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And welcome to the Region 1 Championship here on this Wednesday night, featuring the Central Cass Squirrels and the Kindred-Richland Vikings, the 1 seed against the 2 seed here today. This is our pregame show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. Friday night races start at 7 in West Fargo. Check out the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars on August the 24th. For more info, go to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com. That's RedRiverValleySpeedway.com. It's the Kindred Vikings going up against the Central Cass Squirrels. We'll take a quick break, and we come back after this, get you ready for the starting lineups, the first pitch, and we'll take a look at games that happened between these two clubs earlier in the season. That and more still to come after the Vikings able to take down 9-6 over Northern Cass in a state qualifier earlier today. Both these two teams heading to state. Now it's just a matter of how these two teams will finish off this portion of the season before they make their way to the Buffalo City. Our pregame show coming up and continuing after this here in Hankinson.
Did you know that Bassett Motors has over 300 pre-owned vehicles to choose from and a great selection of new vehicles arriving daily? At Bassett Motors, hometown hospitality and personal service is their goal. Come and experience a relaxed buying process. They will handle everything from financing and licensing to accessorizing your new vehicle. Give them a call at 701-652-2955 or check them out online at BassettMotors.com. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at BloomfieldTrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsborough.
Meet Blake, the messiest 4-year-old on the planet. He's no ordinary durability tester. Meet SmartStrand, no ordinary carpet. With all pet protection, it's the softest, most durable, easiest to clean carpet on the planet. When Blake's barn got a comfy makeover, SmartStrand came clean, even went up against a 2-ton rhino. Made to withstand all walks of life. Ask for SmartStrand, rhino tested, rhino approved.
Available at Carpet World, carpetworldfargo.com.
At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has brought in to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
Almost half of the energy used in homes goes toward heating and cooling the spaces we live in. Energy Star certified heating and cooling equipment can improve your comfort while lowering electric bills. Through its Bright Energy Solutions program, City of Hillsborough offers rebates for a wide range of energy-efficient equipment like heat pumps and central air conditioners. You can also get a rebate for having your cooling system professionally tuned up. Call the City of Hillsborough to learn more about rebates or visit BrightEnergySolutions.com.
As we continue on our pregame show, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. Chase Miller alongside Josh Boyka with you here in Hankinson. taking a look at this contest. Kindred-Richland in the infield. Central Cass coming up next to do theirs as well. Just about 70 degrees, wind blowing to right. Earlier today, a win for the Vikings in their 9-6 win over Northern Cass. A come-from-behind win after a Casey Fix home run and gave the Jags a 2-1 lead in the fourth inning. Then a big 7 spot in the bottom half of the fourth. Josh, what impressed you most, I guess, with the Viking perspective to get 7 runs in that inning, but also, really not panic in a situation like that to qualify again another consecutive season every year since 2013, making it to state.
Yeah, this team has been there and done that, and they will be going back to state again, as you just mentioned, but they had an answer every time Northern Cass had a push, because go back to the top of the first, unearned run comes across for Northern Cass. They're up 1-0, but then right back, Kindred-Richland wasted no time getting back to that 1-1 tie. Scoreless the next couple innings, but Fix home run in the fourth, but then coming back with 7 runs and batting around the order and then some in the fourth inning. That was the big difference in this game. Northern Cass was able to plate a few runs, but then an insurance run, and Danica Rath was able to slam the door shut in the 7th.
Let's talk about the matchup earlier in this tournament between the Squirrels and Kindred-Richland before we take a break and get you closer to the starting lineups. 2-1 was the contest in the semifinal round win. What do you remember most about that game, Josh? And then kind of moving forward here, what do you expect for the second time around? The 4th meeting this season between the Vikings and the Squirrels, but the second time here in this region tournament.
Well, the first time through in the region tournament, it was Whitney Mitchell on the in the circle for Central Cass and Danica Rath for the Vikings, and I expect that's what we'll see again here tonight. Those are probably the 2 top pitchers in the region right there between Rath and Mitchell. Mitchell just a freshman for the Squirrels, but she pitches like a seasoned veteran when she's out in the circle, and she pitched a brilliant game. Both pitchers did. The Vikings were able to actually strike first with the run in this top half of the 6th inning, but then Central Cass answered with 2 and then stranded a couple Vikings on base in the 7th to shut the door and punch their ticket to the state to state. So that's what happened first time around. We'll see if the hitters can make some adjustments here and be able to put some better productive at-bats together against these really top-tier pitchers.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back after this, we'll let you know about scores across the state. We'll get to our starting lineups, that and more still to come. This is the Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway pregame show here in Hankinson on YourLiveEvent.com.
This is Dustin Nagel with Dakota Heritage Bank. We're a family-owned community bank where decisions are made locally. At Dakota Heritage Bank, we can assist you with all of your banking needs, including checking and savings accounts, credit and debit cards, loans of all types, and more. We offer free mobile banking, online banking, and bill pay services. Just go to dhbanknd.com or download the mobile app for convenient on-the-go banking with Dakota Heritage Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Fireworks and sports stuff in the same store? That's right. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro. Come in and browse the sports cards and memorabilia and fireworks at the same time. Unopened packs and boxes of sports cards, plus pre-owned cards as well. Jersey, swatch, autograph cards, lots of Twins, Vikings, Wolves, Wild, Lynx, and North Stars memorabilia, bobbleheads, caps, and more. Call anytime, 701-436-6140. Great Plains Fireworks and Sports Collectibles, Hillsboro.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Designing places of lasting value and beauty, Hepper Olson Architects of Buxton continues to be a leader in small-town skylines. No project is off the table as they've completed buildings for commercial businesses, educational and medical facilities, public spaces, religious centers, and even residential properties. From start to finish, Bobby and her team will help your visions become reality. Hepper Olson Architects of Buxton, 701-841-1000 and hepperolson.com. Best of luck to the regional athletes in your spring sports tournaments.
As we continue on our pregame show here today, brought to you in part by, again, the Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. Let's take a look at some other scores from across the way here. Congratulations goes out to New Rockford Cheyenne as they're making their way to the state tournament, defeating the Lobos of Lemoore Litchfield Marion. Region 2 softball yesterday in Grafton, Mayport, CG, Hatton, Northwood picked up the 13-2 win over Thompson. Then Thompson defeated Carrington in the state qualifiers. So the Patriots win the Region 2 championship. Thompson taking the state qualifier game over Carrington 12-2. From there, Region 3 softball today, Renville County going up against the Lax Burlington in the championship. The loser of that game will go up against the winner of Botno and Ray. And Region 4, some updates. Beulah defeats Velva Drake Adamoose 5-0, so the Beulah Miners have punched their ticket from Region 4. And Velva Drake Adamoose will square off with Hart River in a state qualifier after Velva Drake Adamoose fell to Beulah. They will square off with Hart River after Hart River defeats Washburn Center Stanton 10-4. And the EDC softball tournament gets underway tomorrow across the Red River Valley. The number 1 overall seed, Grand Forks Red River. The Rough Riders taking on the 8th seed of Fargo Davies. The 4-5 matchup, Devils Lake making their way to Fargo North. Valley City, the 7th seed, going up against a 2 seed of West Fargo Packers. And the 6th seed of West Fargo Cheyenne. The 3 seed going up against the 6th seed of Fargo Shanley. We'll have the EDC softball tournament for you later on with the semis, loser out games on Friday, then the state qualifiers and the EDC championship. That'll be on Saturday. So that, again, is a look at some of the other scores from across the region when it comes to softball and a little bit of baseball as well. This is our pregame show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway. Check out the World of Outlaws late models on June the 29th in Ada. Tickets now available at normancountyraceway.com. That's normancountyraceway.com. Earlier this season, these two teams met in Castleton, a 2-1 win for Central Castle over Kindred-Richland. On May the 7th, it went 11 innings, 4-1 with the win. Was Whitney Mitchell and Danica Rapp with the complete 11 innings in the circle. Squirrels picked up the win 4-1, and Central Cass won earlier in this tournament, as we said last segment, 2-1 as well. So in 3 games, 8 runs for the Squirrels, 3 runs for the Vikings. Central Cass looking to go 4-0 against the Vikings, with the Vikings looking to win the Region 1 title back-to-back seasons. That's a tournament title after defeating Hillsborough Central Valley last season. We'll continue on our pregame show after this when we come back to starting lineups and the opening pitch from Hankinson on yourliveevent.com.
Hillsborough Dairy, with delivery of fresh dairy products and more to your home door. I've had Hillsborough Dairy delivering cold, fresh dairy products and other items to my door for years. 3 main reasons why. It's the convenience, the products are fresh, and the delivery service from the Udder Guy. Nobody does it like the Udder Guy. Every week, we get to see Teak. Please call him at 701-436-5877. Delivery right to your door from Hillsborough Dairy.
The Hillsborough Vets Club apologizes for the inconvenience of having the kitchen closed for remodeling this week. When the remodeling has been completed and the kitchen reopened, they will continue to bring you the best roasted chicken on Saturdays. The Hillsborough Vets Club sends congratulations to our area graduates and wish you best of luck as you prepare for the greater challenges ahead. As we approach Memorial Day, the Hillsborough Vets Club gives a salute to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. They encourage everyone to take the time this Memorial Day to honor those who gave their lives for the red, white, and blue.
As we continue here on our Norman County Raceway and Red River Valley Speedway pregame show, it is the Kindred-Richland Vikings and the Central Cass Squirrels here today on YourLiveEvent.com. As Scott Koss alongside with Sam Brandt bringing their lineups out here. Chan Mears behind home plate, Darren Heisler at third, and you have Kobe over at first base, Pevic here at first base as well. Let's get now to our starting lineups, brought to you in part by American Crystal Sugar Company. Starting lineups for the Vikings here, clad in their white uniforms. They'll go like this: Leah Rowland, a junior shortstop; Danica Routh, the senior pitcher; Mackenzie Fuchs, the senior catcher, batting third. And in the cleanup spot is Jansen Jordheim, heading down to Nebraska for college in the fall, the senior center fielder, hoping to do what Josh and I do coming up later on in her life. Avery Ammerman, the senior third baseman, batting fifth; Cora Johnson batting sixth, the junior first baseman; Schmitz, the left fielder junior, batting seventh, with Mauk, the senior second baseman, and Jenna Dezark, the freshman right fielder here. So Roland, Rath, Fuchs, Jordheim, Ammerman, with Johnson, Schmitz, Mauk, and Dezark. On the opposite side here for the Central Cass Squirrels, they'll roll like this in their all-black uniforms here today. They'll go with Whitney Mitchell, the freshman pitcher. Sophie Sherwhite will be the center fielder. Grace Fletchock, the senior shortstop. Grace will be able to play at least one more game on her home confines as she's part of the Shield Softball All-Star Series. Brady Bussey batting cleanup, the sophomore first baseman. Aspen Preen behind the plate, batting fifth. Olivia Haugen is batting sixth. Natalie Fontaine will be the designated player, the daughter of Larry Fontaine. Madeline Stieg, the freshman third baseman. Paige Wixo going to be in left, and then Gunnifson Kiera, the sophomore right fielder. So again, Mitchell, Sherwhite, Fletchock, Bussey, Preen, Haugen, Fontaine, Stieg, Wixo, and Gunnifson as well. Again, that is our starting lineups, brought to you in part by American Crystal Sugar Company. Live the sweet life with great careers, quality products, grower-owned. Go to crystalsugar.com. That's crystalsugar.com. We come back after this. It's the first pitch between the Squirrels and the Vikings. Central Cass again in their all-black uniforms, with the Squirrels across the front in red, with a mark of 15 wins and 5 losses on the season. For the Kindred Vikings, all-white uniforms, the pinstripes up top. For the Vikings, 15 wins and 7 losses, head coached by Sam Brandt, while on the opposite side, the Squirrels are head coached by Scott Koss. I'm Chase Miller alongside Josh Boyko. Our pregame show puts a ball on it when we return here on YourLiveEvent.com.
You're feeling that spring sensation, and that means it's time to put a spring in your step over to Mayport Hardware. They've got all the seed, soil, pots, and garden tools you need to make your green thumb glow. Plus, check out their greenhouse, complete with a variety of flowers, vegetables, baskets, and colors to choose from. Don't forget about the tools and supplies for spring cleaning and recreation. Keep that spring sensation at Mayport Hardware, Trail County's Hardware Hank, on Main Street in Mayville.
As we come back here on YourLiveEvent.com, again, that does it for the pregame show, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and Red River Valley Speedway. You can listen to those races with Racing on the Radio as well, part of our R&J Broadcasting company. Josh will hopefully, fingers crossed, be at the Red River Valley Speedway on Friday nights. Races starting at 7. Go to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com, where you can make your way up to 8 throughout the week as well. Part of the Norman County Raceway. Tickets now available at NormanCountyRaceway.com. The broadcast of this tournament game has been authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. Chase Miller and Josh Boyko with you here. Josh, what's your biggest key to this one?
Well, it's got to be in the lineup. You got to get the bats going early and often, because when the pitchers came out firing in Monday's game, it was just so hard to get hits off of them and so hard to get runners into scoring position and score them from that point. So it's going to be important to get the bats going early now that you've seen these pitchers another time.
First pitch on the way here for Mitchell will be at 6-11, and Roland hits this one foul as the Region 1 Championship is underway for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, the defending champ of this tournament from a season ago, defeating the Hillsboro Central Valley Burros. Well, for the Central Cass Squirrels, looking to climb back on top after failing to make state for the first time in program history since it was sanctioned in North Dakota last season. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike here. Both of these teams, plenty of experience making their way to the state tournament. The Squirrels with 6 state titles in program history. The Vikings with 3, most recently in 2017. Central Cass winners in 2022. As this one's going to be a fly ball hit out to center. As this one is going to be way back to the warning track, and this ball is gone. It's a leadoff homer for the shortstop, Leah Rowland, right over Sherwhite's head to straightaway center field, and the Vikings strike first on the Bank North scoreboard. What a start here for the Vikings.
Well, she might have thrown away the strategy that she was talking about in our Dakota Heritage Bank postgame comments, saying, I wasn't trying to get one to the outfield grass. I was just trying to, put the bat on the ball, get some good contact. That was sure good contact, and it went a lot farther than the center field grass.
Can't complain with a leadoff homer here if you're the Vikings. I was going to allude to both of these teams now have made the state tournament 11 of the 12 years that it's been sanctioned in North Dakota. Here's the Danica Rath, the senior pitcher here, swung on and missed with Mitchell. It's now 0-1. Wixo out and left with Sherwhite in center. Gunnifson in right. Bussey at first with Haugen at second. Fletchock at short with Stieg at third, and Preen is behind the plate. Mitchell, no balls and a strike on the way here to Rath. This one is going to be hit on the ground. Playable for Fletchock. Fletchock with a nice throw to retire Rath. That's 6-3, and there's one down. But we've seen the home run ball here a little bit today, Josh, with Casey Fix and Northern Cass out here for Roland, and a lot of stuff kind of going out to that left center to right center area for those home runs today.
Yeah, that's been the popular spot this entire Region 1 tournament, to go yard, and that one more to straightaway center than any of them.
And speaking of yard, Mackenzie Fuchs, a first pitch swinging, and that one is gone. Out into the lawn in left center field. It's another solo blast for the Vikings as they take a 2-0 lead.
We've seen that story before with Fuchs as she comes across home plate right there. Not the first time she's gone yard to that very spot.
Speaking of what we said earlier, in this particular matchup this season, the Vikings were minimized to just 3 runs in the 3 games playing Central Cass, and they've already scored 2 runs with 3 batters here against Mitchell the 4th time around.
Yeah, we've seen some really good swings here from these Kindred-Richland Vikings, and what we were talking about earlier in the show. You've seen these pitchers a couple times right now, and maybe you've picked up a little bit of something that you can take into this game in the Region 1 Championship. And between Fuchsa and Roland, they seem to figure out something.
Mitchell works ahead in the count here to Jansen Jordheim as Jordheim takes another strike. 0-2, Chad Mears calling balls and strikes. And the wind isn't necessarily howling like Saturday, but both those softballs helped out with the wind jetting to right field. And both of them sounded good right off the bat, barreled up as Mitchell is looking for the second out here. The 0-2 is fouled off. Look out for the windshields, Jake Berkemeyer. We'll keep it at no balls and 2 strikes.
And that Fuchsa homer, I don't care if there was a crosswind blowing it back by 20 miles an hour. That ball was still getting out.
So early on here, the number 2 seed Vikings jump out on the 1 seed Squirrels. The 0-2 pitch is going to be in the dirt, bought by Preen, and now it's 1-2. The Central Cass lineup, they have just as enough of a way to go as well in terms of the power and the ability to hit some home runs and get extra base hits. But what a start if you're the Vikings here after coming back against Northern Cass, as this one just misses inside at 2-2. And all of a sudden that first game, sometimes you get to this part, you play the second part of the game, able to jump on Mitchell early here, Josh. And we'll see if that can be a difference maker as this game continues.
Yeah, Sam Brandt couldn't have drawn it up much better through 3 batters.
2-2, Jordheim swung on a miss. Mitchell is retired for the out. Now there's 2 down. Going back to what Danica Rath and also Whitney Mitchell did in that 11-inning affair way back on, well, it doesn't feel like it's way back on the date, but it feels like that a little bit. On May the 7th, Danica Rath and Whitney Mitchell went all 11 innings in that contest in Kindred, as Aberman will dig in now. First pitch swinging, look out in the dugout. This one hops, and everyone looks to be okay. It's a kind of hop the railing here. That was a little filleted, not so much immediately lined. A little bit more of a pop-up, but Danica Rath went all 11 innings, 12 hits, 4 runs. Those were unearned with no walks and a couple of, well, make it 11 strikeouts. Whitney Mitchell, 11 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 run, unearned, 4 walks, and 18 strikeouts in that particular contest.
That's a whole nother level of dealing right there.
No balls, 2 strikes here to Ammerman. Mitchell looks in. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and miss, and Ammerman able to get back-to-back strikeouts. But the damage is done in the first. 2 runs off of 2 hits, both solo varieties of Roland and Fuchsa. On the Bank North scoreboard, it's the Vikings 2 with the Squirrels coming to bat.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
The Norman County Fair, June 19th through 22nd, Ada, Minnesota. FFA Day with Eli Alger and the Faster Horses performing in concert. There's a salute to veterans with special music and a tribute from Operation Check 6. Racing, school bus races, free shows and attractions for all ages. Fun games and the Mighty Thomas Carnival on the Midway. It's where summer begins and the fun never ends. Free gate admission. The Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 19th through 22nd. Visit normancountyfair.com.
Chase Miller, Josh Boyko with you here in the Region 1 Championship. It is the Central Cass Squirrels and the Kindred-Richland Vikings from Hankinson. So far, 2 runs across. Here with the Vikings, we'll see what the Squirrels can do against Danica Rath the first time through. Whitney Mitchell, Sophie Sherwine, and Grace Fletchock will lead it off here for the Central Cass Squirrels as Rath is in the circle with Fuchsa behind the plate. This one will miss for a ball. It's now 1-0. Bussey batting 4th with Preen 5th, Haugen 6th. Fontaine, the designated player, 7th. Stieg 8th, and Paige Wixo again in the 9th spot here for Central Cass. Is Rath with the 1-0 pitch. That one will be in there for a strike at 1-1. Schmitz in left, Jornheim in center with Zarek in right. Johnson at first, Malk at second, Roland at short, Ammerman is at third. The Vikings with a 2-run advantage here early on against the Squirrels. The 1-1 offering on the way. This one, the off-speed, will go out of Rath's hands. It's 2-1. What'd you like about Danica? We saw Cora Johnson 2 innings of work, Josh, against Northern Cass earlier today. Danica Rath then came in and able to get 5 innings. What'd you like about her performance earlier against the Jags?
Yeah, she was in there throwing strikes and let her defense go to work, and Leah Rowland was kept quite busy in that game, but a lot of ground ball outs. Even though there was some hard contact through the middle towards the end of that outing, they were still able to save her arm by pitching Cora Johnson a couple innings and allow her to have more in the tank for tonight.
Here's the 3-1 offering. This one's going to be hit on the ground at 2 Hopper. That's able to get into short left field. Schmitz will play this one in. It's a leadoff single for the Frenchman Mitchell, and the Central Cass Squirrels get a leadoff runner aboard here in the bottom half of the first.
That's got to feel good for Mitchell right there. Gave up a couple homers in the first inning, but now she's doing herself some good in the batter's box right away. And just doesn't give you any time to dwell on anything in the top half of the inning. Get on base to lead off the bottom of the first, and now you got Sherwhite, a nice bat coming up behind her.
The freshman again. Oh, it's nice to be young as the freshman lineup here to start things off for head coach Scott Kost, and it will be Sophie Sherwhite here, the center fielder, as you'll have the first baseman again in Johnson trying to hold on Mitchell as close as possible. As this one on the way for Danica Rath is going to be hit on the ground. It's going to roll and go right through the wickets of the first baseman Johnson, taking the big stretch is Mitchell. Here's the second baseman Malk looking to get Mitchell out at third. The throw goes to Ammerman. Ammerman goes back to Roland at short. Roland with the pickle trying to stop Mitchell, and she does. And the runner will stay at first base. So that'll go as an error eventually for Johnson. Mitchell is going to be retired as it goes from the 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, and we're not talking about a phone number on that one, as now Sherwhite's going to reach base here with 1 out.
Around the infield is how that ended up going, but they eventually do get a huge out in between second and third.
Mitchell kind of came across 10 feet instead of 5 as Fletchock pops one up, as this one will go foul up the first base line, and it will be an out as Johnson able to glove it. Fletchock's retired on 1 pitch, and there's 1 down. That's a difficult one there, Josh. You're trying to be aggressive, again, with Mitchell going around second base. But then all of a sudden, really nice job, the heady play by Malk to kind of back up that particular hit. And now it's 2 down here with Brady Bussey. Bussey will take this one for a strike at 0-1. And the old, again, backing up the play. You hear about it when you're about 5 years old of making sure you're in the right position, in the right spot, and Bussey was able to do that to perfection. Malk was able to do that to perfection as Bussey takes a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Sherwhite stands at first base here as Danica Rath is looking to get out of any trouble potential here in the bottom of the first inning. Rath, righty-righty matchup to Bussey. The pitch is going to be lashed to right. Getting to second base will be Sherwhite. There's the big turn to third. Tazar gets the ball in quickly. Going first to third there, Sophie. Nice piece of hitting for the sophomore Bussey. Speaking of underclassmen, and the Squirrels now have runners at the corners.
A good piece of hitting going the other way right there. Not trying to do too much because you can't really do a whole lot with that if you're trying to pull it. You're going to roll it over foul or maybe weak grounder to the left side, but able to poke that one through a good spot on the right side.
As we also would like to thank our sponsor of Dakota Heritage Bank. We didn't get a pregame interview just because Sam Brandt was getting ready in between games and Scott Costa as well, but we will get a ton of postgame interviews with the winners here. Our pre- and postgame interviews brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhbanknd.com. So the Squirrels now runners at the corners. Fuchsa came on to talk it over a little bit with Rath in the infield if Bussey decides to leave early from first. There is 2 down to a dangerous sophomore catcher in Aspen Preen. 5th batter of the inning here as Danica Rath will call time and retie the left shoelaces here. If Preen can get aboard, it would be Olivia Haugen due up next. The main thing about this game, it's all about seeding now for state. What does a win do for Central Cass? Beulah won earlier today in Region 4. The defending champs, you feel like they're probably going to be the 1 seed on paper. This one is foul tipped in the glove of Fuchsa. It's 0-1. Mayport CG lost to Central Cass. You called that game about a week and a half ago, Josh. A dandy of a game in Castleton. So if the Squirrels were to be region champs as Mayport CG is, you would think that would give the Squirrels an inside track of possibly being the 2 seed.
Yeah, that regular season game, 9-8 the final, and just an absolute thriller.
This one is in the dirt. It's 1-1. Mayport CG, a tremendous basketball season, winning the state B title. Volleyball finishing up runners-up. We're talking about Northern Cass earlier, what they've been able to do on the girls' side. The same thing for Mayport CG. The 1-1 is foul back, and now will be 1-2. I was worried that was going to hit the top of the netting behind us and come straight down into Josh's unmitted hands. I was waiting for, we maybe should have brought the foul glove territory, Josh. You've been close today.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get anything this close Saturday or Monday.
The 1-2 fouled again, and the tree behind us is taking a pounding as it'll continue to be 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, we saw plenty of that hitting the other fields, but a little bit too close on these last few.
Bussey stands at first. Sherwhite stands at third. Danica Rath looking for another K. Off speed, blocked in the dirt by Fuchsa. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Burroughs head coach Corey Erickson was going for Gold Glove at third base in the coach's box as he had 3 come to him in a single at bat that he was able to pop up to himself.
A 2-2, that'll miss out of the zone and make the count full at 3-2. And speaking of coaches, senior athlete, we'll get to all that out in the postgame. So with the all-region team, the senior athlete, and the coach of the year as well here in Region 1. So stay tuned for that a little bit later on in our Petro postgame show. Preen hits one into center. Jordheim able to take a couple of steps, camps underneath it to retire the side. So the Squirrels able to put a couple hits on. No runs on 2 hits. There was an error and 2 runners left on base. We played one on the Bank North scoreboard. It's 2 RIP Vikings on yourliveevent.com.
It's the North Dakota All-Star Gathering on Your Live Event, as we'll have coverage of the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 3rd and 4th.
Closey with the 0-2 pitch.
The Optimist Volleyball Series on June 10th and 11th.
Right corner west is there for the dig. Backs at Bogenry for another kill.
Plus, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 15th and 16th.
Really nice quality second half. Goes off the backboard for the duck to Carson Yale.
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
Hungry and on the road, Petro Stopping Center in Fargo has got your back with an impressive lineup of goodies including Popeye's Chicken, Charlie's Cheesesteaks, Cinnabon, Papa John's, and a mouth-watering full-sized restaurant, the Dolly Down Grill. You'll be spoiled for choice. Whether you're a quick pit stopper or looking to settle in for a while, Petro Stopping Center's Fargo location has got you covered 24/7 every day of the week. Cruise on over to their spot just off 45th Street and I-94 and indulge in a feast fit for the road warrior in you.
Top of the second inning we go here on your live event, 2-0 in Hankinson, the Region 1 Championship. On the Bank North scoreboard, to learn more, visit ibanknorth.com to find a branch near you serving the Castleton and surrounding communities. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Again, that's ibanknorth.com. As Corey Johnson, Schmitz, and Mauk do up here, the 6, 7, and 8 batters on the way with Whitney Mitchell, who's just a freshman. And if you're a coach and you got a pitcher like Mitchell, the future is awfully bright, whether it's A or B in softball in North Dakota, as this one is last fall. It'll be 1-1.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with Scott Kost in our Dakota Heritage Bank pregame comments a couple days back and asked him about what is it like having someone like Mitchell out there for another 3 years after this. And he just talked about how you don't have to develop another ace. You don't have to focus on dedicating so much time to that. They have already pretty good depth with Natalie Fontaine. She could be a frontline starter for pretty much any Region 1 team. But then to have Mitchell already at the freshman age, just a great comfort to have.
As Mitchell has punched out 3 consecutive batters now, she has her 3rd strikeout. The difference, those 2 solo homers so far for Rowland and Fuchsa. Must run in the Mitchell family, by the way, because Braden was the senior athlete of the year and pitched one heck of a game in the semifinals up in Castleton against Northern Cass. Congratulations goes out to Coach Maggio and the Squirrels baseball team, as this one's going to be hit on the first pitch by Schmitz. As it'll go Mitchell to Bussey, and there's 2 down, as the Squirrels baseball and now softball teams are both making it to state. As Coach Maggio and the Squirrels winners in 8 innings over Northern Cass in the Region 1 title earlier in the week in Castleton. Brea Mauk, the senior second baseman, she'll be part of 3 Vikings making their way to the Shield Softball All-Star Series. We'll have for you on the first Monday of June, the 3rd in Bismarck. Then on the 4th will be in Castleton, as we will have those contests for you for the Shield Softball All-Star Series. The 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. It's now 2-0. Then it goes to Zarek and back to top of the lineup here in the top of the second inning. Vikings, Leah Roman wasting little time to hit a center field solo homer. And then Mackenzie Fuchsa, first pitch against Mitchell, hit one into left center field for the home run as well. 2-0 on the way here to Mauk. This one will be in there for a strike at 2-1.
And Mitchell has elite composure in the circle for a freshman. She's been able to settle down. 2 out of 3 first hitters in this game go yard, but she's been able to set the rest down in order.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. This one is going to be fisted foul. That will go into the netting, and it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. I like this setup here in Hankinson, Josh. They got a couple of bleachers that kind of feel like the old Metrodome seats without the rest, so you get a little bit of room. But nice to kind of have if you're a fan. It's you can't ask for it to be any closer to the action.
No, you're right on top of it right there. So it's a nice setup that we have in Hankinson. And Mike Lowell and his crew have done a phenomenal job with the caretaking of this diamond.
2 balls, 2 strikes. We've saw a lot of diamond dust in Castleton over the weekend. We've seen a lot of guys get here. This field is tiled, which definitely helps. So thank you, farmers, for coming up with that idea. And Spring Sports will utilize it to their advantage. The 2-2 swung on and missed, and Mitchell gets another strikeout. Her 4th here in 2 innings of work, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the second. As we head to the bottom of the second, it's 2-0 Vikings on your liveevent.com.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. This spring has been a trying time, and we may feel everything is out of our control. Please remember to slow down and stay safe this spring. Come home to your families each and every night. Please use this time to make sure your planter is ready to go. Keep downtime to a minimum. When you get into the fields, we are here to help you with any planting issues that may come up. RDK Enterprises, 636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting what's important in life.
Your local Castleton agents, Scott Kramer and Tyler Wasleen, wish the Squirrels the best of luck this postseason. Bottom of the second inning we go here. It's going to be Haugen, Fontaine, and Stieg, the 6, 7, and 8 batters against Danica Rath. Rath working around a couple of singles and an error in the bottom half of the first inning. It's 1-0 on the way here to the sophomore Haugen. Central Cass has had just tremendous talent making their way through the system over the last handful of seasons with the Tori Richters, the Peyton Nelsons, the Katie Sinners. I mean, watching Nelson and Sinner hit, that was just fun to see them take batting practice sometimes when you're able to maybe check a baseball game out there practicing on Koss Field across the way. And speaking of hitting, here's one hit to right center field. Down for a base knock. Haugen rounds first on her way to second. Tazar gets the ball in quickly, but not before it's a leadoff double here for the sophomore. Olivia Haugen gets on base.
Yeah, great piece of hitting right there, going right center field. Didn't try to do too much with it, but she lashed that to the gap, and she's in there with a leadoff double and in scoring position for Natalie Fontaine.
Natalie Fontaine, the junior designated player here in the lineup for head coach Scott Koss, and that's the one thing. There was going to be some adjustments from 2 years ago to last year to this year, finding some new roles, but seeing what the core is going to be for next year and future years, as this one's going to get through the glove of Fuchsa. Making her way to third base will be Haugen on the pass ball, and the future obviously looks bright here for the Central Cass Squirrels. And for the Vikings, there's a good senior class that's leaving, but the program that Coach Brandt's been able to build with getting some girls through the junior varsity system and having opportunities, both of these two teams are going to feel like, hey, Region 1, they can do some damage here in future years with the 1-0 pitch. And this is line to the first baseman, Johnson, trying to double up the lead runner who gets back quickly in Haugen. But what a swing by Fontaine. Just unfortunate. It went right to the glove of Johnson.
Yeah, that ball was just hit on the screws right there, but Johnson, alert and heady play at first base, and even made a strong throw over to third, bidding for that double play, but a great job keeping a run off the board for the Squirrels.
You got fans up both the first and the third base line in their lawn chairs. You got fans rounding the outfield walls, and a couple of them hanging over on those 4-foot walls, just kind of hanging out here today in Hankinson. No balls and a strikeout away here to Madeline Stieg. Stieg, the freshman third baseman, take a strike at 0-2. By the way, Corey Erickson says he didn't glove it as well as you described here, Josh. So we'll trust the man from the Burrows in terms of saying the hot box up the third base line.
Corey is a humble man, so he's not going to give himself the credit. But it certainly was the hot box over there at third base, even for the coaches.
Stieg digs back in here. This one will miss for a ball at 1-2. As both of these teams are going to be making their way to Jamestown again for the state softball tournament. State A out in the Queen City in Dickinson, a little bit farther down I-94. This one will miss as well for a ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grand Forks is going to be in the rotation for state. Curious to see, I haven't seen, I guess, whether it's going to be the Apollo Fields as a 2-2 is swung on and missed, and Rath gets the strikeout, her first of the game, or if it's going to be the new digs that they're going to have at the University of North Dakota with an on-field softball campus similar to what they have at North Dakota State. And both these fan bases know what that softball stadium is like because they've had tremendous success at State in Fargo at the new tricked-out Theraldson Park. 2 down here with a runner in scoring position at third to the number 9 batter, Paige Wixo, the senior left fielder who takes the ball. So Haugen with a ringing double to start the game off. Stands at third with 2 down. 1-0, this one's going to be popped up. Mauk will see it, and that'll retire the side. So the Squirrels going to lead off hit, but keeper at third base. No runs and a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. 2 innings so far. The Squirrels have left 3 runners on. On the Bank North scoreboard, it's 2-0 Vikings. Kindred-Richland coming to the plate.
Red River Valley Speedway, what a great place to let your heart race. Excitement second to none. Every Friday night you're gonna feel alright. Your destination for family fun.
Get ready for racing this Friday night at 7 at the Red River Valley Speedway. Family fun for everyone. This week it's Military Appreciation Night and First Responder Night. Sponsored by FM Drain Cleaning and Services, Leinenkugels, and Finley Motors. For details, log on to redrivervalleyspeedway.com.
At At Dakota Heritage Bank, we know your schedules can get hectic, and you don't always have time to get to the bank during regular banking hours. We make it easy for you with mobile banking, online banking, and bill pay, services that we offer for free. This is Michelle with Dakota Heritage Bank, inviting you to do your banking with us anytime, anywhere. Just go to dhbanknd.com or download the mobile app for convenient on-the-go banking, serving you with locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Umpires again here in this one, as you have calling balls and strikes. Chad Mears, Colby Pennick up the first baseline, and Darren Heisler up the third baseline, our three-man umpiring crew. As this one will miss out of the zone for a ball. It's now 1-0. Janet Tazarek, the freshman right fielder, batting ninth, and it goes back to top of the lineup with Roland and Danica Rath. So far the difference in this game, the first inning where you could save, the Vikings kind of ambushed Mitchell a little bit there with Roland and Fuchsa with a pair of solo homers, but since then Mitchell has settled in nicely, as Josh alluded to in the second inning, with 5 consecutive batters retired, 4 of them being the strikeout.
Yeah, Mitchell has the ability to miss bats in bunches, and we saw that on display right there again. But that 18 strikeout performance in 11 innings, that's just impressive stuff right there.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the way here for Mitchell.
Could do that with my player in 2K if I wanted to back in the day.
The 1-2. Swing on a miss, and Mitchell gets her 5th strikeout. Back-to-back cage. She struck out 5 of 6 now, and it goes back to the top of the lineup where Roland opened up the game with a straightaway center field homer over Sherwhite's head in center.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see if she's going to go approach these at-bats any differently second time through the order, or if she's just going to keep doing what she does best, and that's throw strikes right over the plate, because she's got swing and miss stuff.
The 0-1 pitch is going to be fouled. It'll be 0-1, so the first time through against Mitchell, as Whitney's gone 2 1/3 of innings work, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned via the solo homer with 5 strikeouts. So you got a little good with a little bad, if you will, from the K's to the home run variety. But for the Vikings, they've made the most of their opportunities, and Roland hits one into left field as she takes a big turnaround first. And you saw the body weight there by Roland coming through and then almost re-engaging, just seeing that the slow pitch and able to fight one off into left.
Yeah, she was out in front of that pitch by a good margin, but she was able to slow down the hands enough to where she could almost have like a second go at it and punch that one softly through the left side of the infield, and she's got her speed on base with 1 out.
Danica Rath digs in now here for the Vikings. Grounded out her last time up to Fletchock at short. Roland's going to go. Preen's throw down to Fletchock, not in time. Roland gets in a scoring position on the stolen base here, and Danica Rath now will bat with a runner at second base.
A good throw down by Preen. On the bag, on target, but the speed of Roland just a little bit too much.
No balls and a strike on the way here to the senior pitcher, with 1 away as Mitchell looks to Preen as this one misses. The beautiful thing about YourLiveEvent.com, you can watch anywhere, including Nashville, Tennessee, one of our former co-workers, and Jake Watroba's watching, tuning in here today. Whether you're watching, maybe it's a niece, nephew, son, daughter, something throughout the year, we thank you for tuning in, as this one's going to be bunted up the third base line. Here comes Stieg, makes the play, or was it bobbled? There's no out or safe call here, as they're trying to figure out, is there an out or is it retired, and they're going to say there is no out. So making her way is going to be Danica Rath to first. Roland will go to third here. That's going to be a tough one, as the third baseman Stieg threw it to Bussey. It goes off of Bussey's glove, and that'll be an E3, and runners will be at the corner. Scott Costa wants to talk it over. We will as well on your live events.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
Well, we'll see what the Squirrels are trying to do here, trying to minimize any damage. But a dangerous batter in Fuchsa, already with a homer. will dig on in for the Vikings. Fuchsa with the squeeze play, hits one up the third base side, and wasn't a suicide squeeze. Staying there was rolling, but trying to get the squeeze play and maybe catch the Squirrels off guard because, quite frankly, Fuchsa can hit one 225, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw that go 225 earlier, but we've also seen her try to lay down bunts both in the last game and now here in the championship game tonight.
Mitchell takes a look at the wristband, where to throw this one. The 0-1 is popped up. The third baseman, oh, what a backhand by Stieg. Stieg was able to backhand that one nicely as her momentum was coming down the home plate side and then had to stop, take 1 or 2 steps towards the dugout, gloved it for the second out.
Yeah, that's a big play right there as Fuchsa didn't really get the barrel to that one. It was a little bit under that ball, so a pop-up and Stieg able to charge in and make the play and adjust to it.
Jornheim had a couple of clutch hits with 2-out situation against Northern Cass earlier today. This one swung on and missed, now 0-1. Jornheim with the first of 5 strikeouts is going to second base on the delayed steal will be Danica Rath, and that's the one thing that, again, with the Vikings and the Squirrels, have they done so many times taking the extra base against opponents, so it's a lot of fun when these two teams match against each other to see that kind of play out on the chessboard, if you will. 0-1, that'll miss. It'll be now 1-1, and we'll see how big that delayed steal could be because now all of a sudden you put one into the outfield for Jornheim. It might not be just 1, it could be 2 runs coming in. 2 down here as Mitchell looks into Preem behind the plate. The 1-1, Jornheim, big swing, now 1-2.
Yeah, if you're able to double this lead, make it 4-0. It seems even bigger than 4-0 with someone like Rath out on the mound, or the circle, rather.
And this is the one thing for the Vikings. The Squirrels, 4th time they played them. They beat them all 3 times, but twice by 1 and once by 3. The 1-2. Mitchell throws the rise ball. That'll be out of the zone at 2-2. Well, there's an old adage, blue and red, Central Cass, Kindred. It's just good when these two teams play each other. It doesn't matter what particular sport. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 runners on in a 2-run game. Deuce is wild. That nearly was strike number 3. You could hear the Squirrels dugout definitely wanting the 3rd strike. Instead, that'll work the count full to Jansen Jornheim.
Yeah, Scott Koss wanted it more than anyone as he wanted his team back in the dugouts and getting the bats going. But Whitney Mitchell is going to have to bear down just 1 pitch more, try and get out of this inning. Payoff pitch coming.
Here's the 3-2. This one's going to be hit to right. Gunnifson comes across in right center to retire the side. A collective gasp of the breath for a moment there, depending on which side of the aisle, so to speak, you were on. There were no runs on a hit, an error, and 2 runners left. We have played 2.5 here in Hankinson as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning on our Bank North scoreboard.
As you're planting this spring, I thank you for planting Golden Harvest corn and soybeans on your farm. This is Tim Cazzette, your Golden Harvest seeds dealer. If you run short of seed, give me a call, 701-430-0877. I probably have some seed available to help you finish. Call me again, 701-430-0877, and we can discuss your options for Golden Harvest seeds on your farm. I wish all the area farmers and farm families a safe spring and a successful growing season.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045. Bottom of the 3rd inning, we go on the Bank North scoreboard. Chase Miller, Josh Boyka with you here from Hankinson, North Dakota for the Region 1 softball title. As Lookout puts some insurance on the car here as that one goes foul. Might have one-hopped a Honda Classic potentially out there. We know 0-1 here to Mitchell. Mitchell sees this one low. It's going to be 1-1. Second time through the lineup here for the Squirrels. Central Cass on Danica Rath. 2 innings of work, 3 hits, no walks, and a strikeout. There's the 1-1 on the way for Rath. That one picked up some steam behind it. Now it's 1-2. Haven't seen that big changeup so far a lot against these Squirrel batter here so far, Josh, with Danica.
It's been the heat, and the heat has been working. First trip through the order, and now back up to the top.
1-2 pitch. Well, there pulls the off speed, and Sam Brandt with a big right-handed fist pump to boot, and that's Rath's second strikeout. All right, on cue, as there's one down. Speaking of heat, Jamestown, the last time it was in Jamestown, every day was 90 degrees, about 90% humidity with maybe about a 5-mile-an-hour wind. It was hot, muggy. If you didn't have a Gatorade every third inning, I'm not sure if you were going to be able to make it because that was extremely warm as this one has fouled to Sherwhite now 0-1. The forecast doesn't look nearly to be in the 90s for Jamestown next week, but starts warming up high 70s and low 80s.
Certainly got good weather tonight.
As this one's going to be popped up. Off speed again for Danica Rath. That one goes to Mauk. 2 pitches and 2 outs now all of a sudden with Sherwhite taking 2 pitches, and it's Grace Fletchock. Well, going back to when these teams have played, Central Cass hasn't necessarily scored a ton of runs either against Kindred-Richland. 2 runs, 4 runs, and 2 for a grand total of 8, where the Vikings scored a grand total of 3 in 3 games. So to say that we expected a low-scoring game would be the Captain Obvious moment of this one, but you just never know. 4th time these two teams have played as Fletchock digs in with a 1-0 count. This one will miss low, now 2-0. Vikings trying to win their 16th game of the season from the varsity standpoint. The same for Central Cass as well. It's the Squirrels' 21st game, the Vikings' 23rd game, as this one is in there for a strike now 2-1. Grace Fletchock, the senior shortstop here, and been a staple for Scott Koss the last handful of years. This one will miss. Now 3-1. Danica Rath looks to Fuchsa behind the plate. 2 down here in the 3rd. 3-1 pitch. Fletchock taking all the way. That's a strike. Now 3-2. Going back, Whitney Mitchell worked the count to 3-1, a 3-2 to Aspen Preen. This is the 3rd batter that Rath has seen a 3-ball count against a Squirrel batter. The payoff pitch. Hit on the ground. This one backhanded by Rath, who stumbles, has enough time, and that one's going to be gloved by the first baseman, Cora Johnson. So that'll be 1-3 on the put up, 3 up, 3 down, and 4 Danica Rath after giving off the leadoff double to Olivia. In the 2nd, she's retired 6 consecutive batters as we head to the 4th on your liveevent.com. As we come back here on yourliveevent.com, top of the 4th inning, let's get to our update brought to you in part by our friends at the Red River Valley Fair. It's going to be a 3-day weekend, June 28th through the 30th, July 4th through the 7th, and July 11th through the 14th. It's a 3-day weekend. You can get your tickets at redrivervalleyfair.com. Also, check out the free stage powered by Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting with yourliveevent.com. You got everything from Google Dolls, Sublime to Ludacris, Skillet, and also Disney Princesses, Blake Shelton, and more. Check it all out at redrivervalleyfair.com. As this one is going to miss for a ball. It's now 1-0 on the way with Avery Ammerman. Avery, Johnson, and Schmitz here. It's the 5, 6, and 7 batters in the top of the 4th inning as we've reached the midway point of our Region 1 title. As this one will be in there for a strike now at 1-1. Avery with a strikeout her last time up, 1 of 5 Ks with Whitney Mitchell. Cora Johnson, then Schmitz due up again here for the Vikings. On our in-game update again has been the 2 solo homers so far for Kindred-Richland. That has been the difference, brought to you in part by the Red River Valley Fair. Leah Rowland with a solo homer, then Fuchsa with a solo homer. Those were both back in the 1st inning. Vikings 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 left on base, and they've committed an error. While for Central Cass, no runs on 3 hits. They've left 3 on base with committing 1 error. This one will be over and out of the glove of Aspen Preen. It's now 2-2. Vikings trying to win it back-to-back years here, just from 2023 to 2024, winning it at their home diamond in Kindred a season ago, defeating Hillsborough Central Valley. This year, Squirrels and the Vikings in Hankinson. Popped up, gloved. Mitchell sees this one, and it'll be in time. Nice play by Mitchell, as will now be 1-3 on the put-up. As we head to the number 6 batter here with Cora Johnson. As Cora Johnson 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Elena Schmitz again due up after that. This one runs in for a ball. Now will be 1-0. Vikings had 2 runners left on base at second and third. That was with 1 out. And then Mitchell was able to get out of the pickle there in the third. Chase Miller, Josh Boyko with you here on the Region 1 title. The 1-0. That'll miss. Now 2-0. Going to be a busy weekend here. Josh making his way to Ada for the Minnesota subsection track and field meets. That's scheduled to get underway around 2 o'clock tomorrow on yourliveevent.com. And then I'll be making my way to Fargo, maybe even Castleton, for the EDC softball tournament, depending on how Mother Nature kind of goes. With Castleton having turf, there was even talks about this tournament maybe going to Castleton, depending on how much rain we had over the last couple of days. The 2-1 offering going to be hit on the ground. That goes to second baseman Haugen. Haugen goes to Bussey, and that'll be in time for the out. It's now 4-3.
Nice textbook backhand play from Haugen right there. Didn't rush. Knew who was running up the line in Eliana Schmitz, but still was able to get her even with that hustle.
As Schmitz just come in here, Cora Johnson grounded out, Ammerman grounded out, and so far there's been 4 on the ground here via the out for Whitney Mitchell. 2 down here on the top of the 4th inning. First pitch swinging. That'll be 0-1. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, it would be Bussey, Preen, and Haugen. The 4, 5, and 6 batters due up for Central Cass. No balls, a strike on the way here. That one is going to miss. Now 1-1. So 2 down, as the question is, can Danica Rath keep the Squirrels bats at bay? On the opposite side for the Vikings, can they extend the 2-run advantage throughout this game and not leave potential opportunities and chances to come back and haunt them? That will be the question here. 4th time these 2 teams have played. All have been dandies, whether you've watched on yourliveevent.com or came out to the games in person in Kindred, Central Cass, and earlier in this tournament here in Hankinson. 2-1 offering on the way for Mitchell. This one fisted in. Foul will be 2-2. Wixo in left with Sherwine in center. Gunnufson is in right. Stieg at third. Fletchock at short with Haugen at second. Bussey at first, and Aspen Preen behind the plate for the infield here for head coach Scott Costa. Natalie Fontaine, the designated player. The 2-2 on the way for Mitchell. That'll miss out of the zone. Probably an okay thing that Schmitz didn't swing on that one, Josh, as it got through the glove of Preen and all the way to the backstop.
You maybe get advanced to first on a strikeout at best on that pitch, but that's a chase pitch, and good job by Schmitz leaving that one up.
Schmitz, the junior, against the freshman Mitchell here. The 3-2, and it will be the elder classman of Schmitz to earn the walk. That's the first free pass from Mitchell. There's 2 down with a runner on now with Brea Mauk, the senior second baseman, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout.
Rare free pass in this game, as both these pitchers have done a nice job staying around the plate.
That's the one thing now with a base runner on. We'll see if Sam puts Schmitz into a running position here. She will stay put over at first. Now that'll be 1-0. Women's College World Series will be coming up. Omaha nearly made it to the Super Regional, trying to make it part of that Sweet 16. Took down Missouri, Washington, but eventually Missouri beat them twice over the weekend, as this one is smothered in the dirt. Now 2-0. Crazy to think. I think it was about 2009 when NDSU made the Super Regional, the Sweet 16, heading down to Arizona State. And you look up, well, that's 15 years ago already, for crying out loud. Here's the 2-0 offering. This one will miss now. 3-0. NDSCS softball and baseball having tremendous seasons, making it to the postseason as well. So seeing the game of baseball, softball continue to grow throughout this particular region. And it helps when, again, the benefits of having sanctioned softball now in the state for the last decade plus. 3 balls and a strike on the way here to Mauk. For Whitney Mitchell, this is her second 3-ball batter in the inning. Her fourth, make that her third of the game. Back-to-back walks here with 2 down. And we'll get a quick time here as Aspen Preen is going to talk it over in the infield for Central Cass as the runners, as it's not the coach coming out there. Just a quick little conference call with the infield as Preen immediately called it. So Elena Schmitz was able to earn a walk. Brea Mauk earns a 5-pitch walk, and now it's to the number 9 batter, and Tazarek was in a lot of these situations against Northern Cass and came through in a clutch position, Josh.
Yeah, she's had runners on scoring position a lot throughout this tournament, and she's done a nice job coming through at the bottom of the order, being a good table setter to flip it back up to Roland, perhaps.
5th batter in the inning, swung on and missed. It's 0-1. The Vikings sit up 5 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, and here they're 5th in the 4th inning. 2 down with Schmitz at second, Mauk at first. This is going to be hit on the ground to the third baseman. Stieg will go the long way, 5-3 on the putout to retire the side. There were no runs off and no hits, no errors, and 2 runners left as we played 3.5 on our Bank North scoreboard. It's 2-0 Vikings on your live event.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Plus, Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting and paint mixing section for your own do-it-yourself projects. From their grill selection with Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to their customer laser engraving center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware. Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning here, Bussey, Preen, and Haugen, the 4, 5, and 6 batters, as this one is going to be popped up into short right center field. The right fielder comes across into Zarek, and Bussey is retired on 1 out on the fly ball here to the right fielder. And looking up at Danica Rath, Josh, now 6 consecutive batters, make that 7 consecutive batters that she's retired. What have you liked about Danica's pitching performance?
She's changed the speeds, but she's been sticking well with the riser and the drop ball, and not as much of the changeup. But it's been well timed on the changeups, and that's been keeping the Central Cass hitters off balance. And this is a really talented lineup that she's going through, and it probably helped that she didn't have to pitch that entire first game of the day.
0-1. There's the off speed in there for the strike. Now at 0-2, Aspen Preen flew out to Jortheim to retire the first inning where the Squirrels left 2 runners on. Central Cass left then a leadoff double on in Haugen at third base in the second, and a 3-up, 3-down third for Rath as that one will miss out. Now it'll be 1-2. Interesting part of the game here. The Vikings haven't played it any more runs since they were able to come out with 2 solo homers in the first, as this one is going to be lashed for a foul ball, and that'll be 1-2. And if you're Central Cass, it's kept them in striking distance, but as you alluded to, Josh, you look on the scoreboard, it might feel more than 2 runs, but hey, you're a single here, a double there, and you're down by 1.
Yeah, I mean, certainly not out of it. In the Central Cass lineup, they didn't score till the bottom of the 6th inning in their matchup on Monday.
As this will be a strikeout of Aspen Pre. Now it's Olivia Haugen who hit one again to right center field to lead off the second inning. The sophomore second baseman, 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth inning as the Squirrels are looking to get something against Danica Rath here in the fourth. This one in there for a strike at 0-1.
Her control has looked really good this inning, and even the off-speed that have been near misses, they're just that. They're near misses and really tempting to these hitters.
This is going to be fisted into left field. The left fielder comes on, and this one will go off the glove of Schmitz. Rounding first, on her way to second is Haugen. Here's the throw. Not in time. As Haugen able to get her foot on the bag before the tag by Rowland there, and that'll be a opportunity here for the Squirrels with the runner in scoring position.
Yeah, big time hustle right there from Haugen getting into second base, and that could be huge because now you can score on a single potentially. You're not scoring on a single from first base, but with 2 outs, you're off on the crack of the bat and have that advantage as a runner.
As Haugen gets aboard here, Schmitz again took a couple of steps, hit her glove, and then popped off the glove there. So can the Squirrels take advantage? Wasn't in terms of the most routine play, but still maybe a play that, you know, both Scott Koss and Sam Bryant would say, hey, our outfielders should make. But now for the Squirrels, you bring the tie and run to the plate by the name of Natalie Fontaine. 0 for 1 with a screaming line drive out to Johnson, her first time up. This one goes a 2-hopper to Rowland. Rowland across the diamond, 6-3 on the putout to retire the side. There were no runs, no hits, an error, and 1 runner left. 4 complete on the Bank North scoreboard. It's still a 2-0 game here in Hankinson.
Goose River Bank is here for the communities we serve, building relationships that last a lifetime. Serving the strong Red River Valley and beyond, we are your neighbors, friends, and family, committed to providing everything from everyday personal banking to loans for your farm or business. Visit one of our locations in Mayville, Hillsboro, or Hatton, or reach out and we'll happily come to you, because it's the neighborly thing to do. Goose River Bank. Strong bank, strong communities.
Top of the 5th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, including back on the pregame show sponsor, our Red River Valley Fair Speedway in West Fargo, also the Norman County Raceway as well in Ada. You can check out the World of Outlaws late models on June the 29th in Ada. Tickets now available at NormanCountyRaceway.com, or you can check out the sprint cars making their way for the World of Outlaws. Donnie Schatz and the crew on August the 24th, nearly 3 months to the date of that race, also nearly 3 months to the date of high school football returning. Let's enjoy summer first, but that's August the 24th. For more information, go to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com.
Yeah, really looking forward to some more racing on the radio, and World of Outlaws is always amazing. I mean, Kyle Larson, he's even showed up in that, and he'll be doing the Memorial Day double.
As this one's going to be popped up to center. Sherwhite is there, goes into the gap in left center field, right in front of the camera. So thank you very much, Sophie, for the out there, and there will be 1 down here with Rowland. Yeah, Kyle Larson able to qualify for the Indy 500. Made his way to North Carolina last weekend for the All-Star race, double dipping again, making his way to North Carolina this time to the Coca-Cola 600 and a potential 1,100 miles in 1 day. That's a lot of racing. Saw Tony Stewart do it a few years back as well.
Yes, that's my guy right there. Tony Stewart, grew up watching him. It's a new era in NASCAR right now, and Kyle Larson is certainly leading the way. Looking forward to that Memorial Day double.
Danica Rath 0 for 2 here today with a stolen base, reach base on the third via an error as Whitney Mitchell. This one throws in there for a strike. It's now 1-1. Mitchell so far 4 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts at one time. At 5 out of 6 via the strikeout in the first, second, and part of the third. As this one will miss low, now 2-1. Well, this is, quite frankly, Josh, we've kind of talked in basketball, who gets the next, 6-0 run, so to speak, can change the game when you're up by 7. It's all of a sudden you're up by 13 or you're up by 1. Well, it kind of feels like the same, but who gets the next run? It really feels like could really teeter this game either to the team clad in white in Kindred or the team in Kindred-Richland or the team clad in black in Central Cass.
This is very similar to how this game played out on Monday with these pitchers just both on a roll. The only difference is like we talked about, jumping out early in front, and that's what the Vikings did. 2 home runs and 3 batters to start off this game. That is the difference right now, because these pitchers otherwise have been outstanding.
Mitchell gets the strikeout, her 6th. Mackenzie Fuchsa due up next. Fuchsa with a towering home run to left center field. That was in the first and popped out to Stieg, and a nice play at third as well to finish the 3rd inning. So 2 down here in the 5th as Mitchell looking to have her second 3-up, 3-down inning here against the Vikings. 2 down. Fuchsa hits this one foul. Now it would be 0-1. Minnesota Timberwolves in action a little bit later tonight as they will tip off in about 20-plus minutes. Minnesota Twins able to win a series in Washington after losing 7 straight, coming back with a win yesterday and today. So good news there for Twins fans to get back in the winning side of things. The 0-1. This is going to be hit to left deep, way back to the warning track, and Fuchsa has done it again. Mackenzie Fuchsa, the senior catcher, with her 2nd solo blast to left, and the Vikings lead it now 3-0.
Well, there's that run you were talking about right there. Who is going to get the next one? And Fuchsa makes no doubt about it. She's got a couple tape measure shots to left field, and what a huge blast that is right there to make it a 3-0 ball game, which for Danica Rath, that might be all she needs.
4 hits for Mitchell. The problem is 3 of them have gone over the fence. And now all of a sudden it's Jansen Jordheim here with 2 outs and a new score on the Bank North scoreboard here at 3-0. First pitch, this one will be foul back. It's now 0-1. So Vikings trying to, again, as we alluded to earlier, at least in the Region 1 tournament, go back-to-back from what they were able to do last year to this year. For the Central Cass Squirrels and the Vikings, they both know they're heading to Jamestown. It's just, how does this maybe impact your seed line going forward? Beulah won earlier today, so they qualify for state. On the eastern half, we already know the 4 teams with Mayport, CG, Hatton, Northwood, Thompson, and these 2 teams here will be making their way to Jamestown. The 1-1 pitch. This one is fouled again, now 1-2. Mayport CG, they've been a team that's been knocking on the door the last couple of years at state, trying to see if they can bring home a state title. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the way. And the pitch. This one will miss. Now 2-2. Left center field's had some indentation and softball marks here today, Josh, with the lawn out there.
Yeah, left field has been the place to hit it out, even with the wind to right field for most of this tournament. We've seen a lot of balls go over the left center field fence.
2-2 is foul back. There is a nice house over in left center, but you probably have to hit one a good 325, 350, if not more. Maybe in men's slow pitch or women's slow pitch, but haven't seen one jetted out that far. But there's a couple of trees that have been kind of getting close. Strike 3 as Mitchell gets her 7th strikeout to retire the side. But there was a run on a hit, a solo homer by Fuchsa, no runs, and no runners left on base, that is, off the run. New score as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kindred-Richland leads it by 3.
At Thompson Public Schools, their mission is to develop lifelong learners and responsible citizens. You can visit their website, tps-k12.org, for school announcements and calendars, lunch menus, weather announcements, athletic schedules, and more. Follow them on social media and share in Tommy Pride with student updates and events with Thompson Public Schools. Thompson Public Schools thanks all students, staff, parents, alumni, and community members for their continued support. Good luck to the Tommies. Learn more at tps-k12.org.
Central Cass with a pinch hitter here, as you'll have Raya Zimmerman. First pitch swinging, hits one to second. Mauk is there, 4-3 on the putout, and Zimmerman is out on one pitch as it goes to Wixo, then Mitchell here. Paige Wixo, the senior left fielder. Schmitz is in left field for the Vikings. Jortheim in center to Zarek and right. Johnson at first with Mauk at second. Rowland at short, Ammerman at third, and Fuchsa behind the plate. Paige Wixo 0 for 1 with the pop-out her last time. That went to Mauk at second. Danica Rath so far 4 1/3 innings of work, as this one's going to go foul up the first baseline. Now 0-1, 3 hits, all in the first and the second, and she's only allowed 1 runner on since then, and that was via the error. So Danica Rath finding her zone here, Josh, after kind of getting out of some situations early on in this contest.
Yeah, Northern Cass even kind of put some runs together. They scored 5 off of Rath in their game earlier this afternoon, but she has looked as sharp as ever, just on her game, locating everything where she wants to. She's not missing over the plate and keeping these bats quiet.
The 1-1 offering, that'll be out of the zone now. 2-1. Well, it's chalk. The 1 seed and the 2 seed playing here in the title. The 6 seed Northern Cass nearly made it to state out of Region 1. The 2-1 offering. This one's going to be hit in the air, and it's going to drop in front of the center fielder, Jortheim. Jortheim gave a full-out Superwoman stretch with that one as it one-hopped into her glove. So fortunate there for Jansen as she nearly, 1, made the out, but 2, that it hit her glove and to only allow Wixo to get to first base.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And when you're making an all-out attempt, sometimes that's going to get all the way to the wall, but she does a nice job trapping that one on the bounce and keeping the runner just at first base.
Both of these teams tremendous success when it comes to the state tournament, and they're hoping to do that in Jamestown. But right now, who's going to win another battle in this rivalry series? Mitchell hits one on the ground. Mauk is there. She bobbles it, stays with it in time to get the out as you have the runner in Wixo. And Mauk nearly colliding at second base with how that one was hit on a 2-hopper. Mitchell is retired. It is a productive out to get the runner into scoring position in Wixo, but another 4-3 putout, and there's 2 down. Talking about the state championships, these two teams met most recently in a state title in 2022, where the Vikings succumbed to the Squirrels 11-1 in 6 innings. Central Cass defeated Thompson then in 2021 and beat the Vikings in 2019 6-2. That's just most recently here, Josh. So you just see the tremendous amount of success from these two programs.
Yeah, I mean, they're just annual in this tournament and then into state. Just kind of automatic bids. They've been running it for a long time.
As the wind has pretty much died down here in Hankinson, the sun is out. This is about as nice of a night. Where's the bonfire, Josh? Did you bring some s'mores?
Unfortunately, that was in my other bag.
The 1-1 is scolded, but that'll go foul. It'll be 1-2. These are the types of days you enjoy in the Red River Valley, the upper Midwest. Days like today, we can get outside and enjoy some sun, watch some sports like this. The good news for both of these teams, they got 3 more games left next Thursday through Saturday. Just a matter of who's going to bring home some Region 1 hardware tonight. This one's going to be hit on the ground. A tough play. Rowland comes in, charges, fires in time. The stretch by Johnson, 6-3 on the putout. And what a play by Rowland over there at short. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. 5 complete on the Bank North scoreboard. It's 3-0 Vikings on YourLiveEvent.com.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsboro. You can see the latest inventory online at BloomfieldTrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsboro.
Meet Blake, the messiest 4-year-old on the planet. He's no ordinary durability tester. Meet SmartStrand, no ordinary carpet. With All Pet Protection, it's the softest, most durable, easiest to clean carpet on the planet. When Blake's barn got a comfy makeover, SmartStrand came clean, even went up against a 2-ton rhino. Made to withstand all walks of life. Ask for SmartStrand. Rhino tested. Rhino approved.
Available at Carpet World. CarpetWorldFargo.com.
As we come up here in the top of the 6th inning, At Bank North, they take community at heart, helping customers achieve their financial goals while supporting and improving the great rural communities that they serve. They're more than just a bank, they're a community partner. To learn more, visit ibanknorth.com. That's ibanknorth.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender. First pitch swinging here is Avery Ammerman, batter number 5 in the lineup for head coach Sam Brandt and the Vikings. Ammerman, Johnson, Schmitz here. Avery is now 0 for 2 in the game. Make sure you stay tuned to our post-game show, brought to you in part by the Petro Stopping Center. We will get to the all-region team, the senior athlete, the coach of the year. Also, we'll get you some post-game conversation interviews as well with the winning squad, as this one is going to be swung on and missed, now 0-2. That and more still to come. Chase Miller, Josh Boyko with you on a picture-perfect Wednesday evening. I know North Dakota doesn't normally have Wednesday postseason, but it kind of became familiar with basketball this year, having some games being moved to Wednesday. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and Mitchell gets the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks here for Whitney, and she's punched down 3 out of 4. The only one she didn't punch down, Fuchsa, had a homer to left. You're kind of used to Wednesdays, Josh, in Minnesota, those section tournaments on Wednesday nights. You a fan of Wednesday athletics? Or kind of in between?
I mean, at Park Christian, we were doing just like hour practices, and we were done for the day, so it was nice to just be able to relax, have a break. But, yeah, I'm all for it. I enjoy being able to get out on a midweek type of game, and when the weather's like this, you want to be right outside.
We both kind of said we weren't sure what day it was. It kind of felt like a Friday almost a little bit driving down here to Hankinson with how the tournaments have kind of moved around a little. The 0-1 pitch, that'll miss.
I definitely introduced it as Tuesday earlier today because Tuesday basically didn't happen thanks to the rain.
Whitney Mitchell has 8 strikeouts here in the circle. 1 down with the 1-1 pitch here to Cora Johnson. 0 for 2 today, does have a strikeout. This one will miss, now 2-1. Grounded out her last time out to Haugen at third. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Vikings looking to add on to their 3-run advantage. The Squirrels trying to find a way to get the bats to the plate and get something going as they did the first time around, as Josh alluded to in the 6th inning. 2-1, that'll miss. It'll be 3-1. So again, stay tuned to our Petro Stopping Center's post-game show coming up after the conclusion of this game, and then we will also play Mother Nature and Daylight to see how much daylight we have yet to work with. 3-1 offering on the way. Good pitch by Mitchell. It'll now be 3-2. Vikings 2 runs in the first, 1 run in the 5th. For the Squirrels, goose eggs across the board so far on your box score. Mitchell looking back into Preen here with the 3-2 pitch. 1 hopper right back to Whitney. Able to go to Bussey. 1-3 on the putout. So if you take the home runs off the board, it's scoreless. But those 3 home runs, it's quite obviously the difference. And that has been just what the Vikings have been able to do, showing you some power, particularly with Roland and Fuchsa. Schmitz, this one will come in and miss. Now 1-0. Schmitz earned a walk her last time up, worked the count full 0 for 1 so far in the game. Whitney has only allowed 2 free passes, but they both came in the 4th inning to the 7 and 8 batters here in the Vikings lineup. 1-0 is foul, then it'll be 1-1. As that one, I believe, nearly went into the trash can across the way. 1 ball, 1 strike on the way.
Some dude perfect type stuff right there.
Trick shot softball, the 1-1. I'm not sure if I've seen any trick shots when it came to softball. I've seen tennis now with baseball a little bit, where that's tennis baseball, where everybody, instead of having a glove, has a tennis racket. Then you just kind of play baseball from there. The 2-1 pitch. This one will miss, and it'll be 3-1. Kind of like slam ball and arena football. Always trying something new, Josh, when it comes to sports. You like spike ball, I believe, right?
Spike ball's solid, yeah. Played a little bit of that a couple weeks ago with some friends, and I mean, it's one of the 2 official grad party yard games of North Dakota.
Here's the 3-1 offering. Swung on and missed. Now 3-2. What's the official food of graduation parties? We talking walking tacos, taco in a bag, sloppy Joe, maybe a shredded pork?
All of the above.
Okay. A, B, C, and then he's going with D, all of the above. I hated those answers on questions because I always got it wrong.
Especially when they had none of the above, too.
The 3-2, that'll strike out the side. So speaking of none of the above, no runs across here in the 6th. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Mitchell. The Vikings lead it by 3 as we head to the bottom half on yourliveevent.com.
If you want help from a firm that has integrity and respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the betterment of the community, look no farther than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys has dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, Maddox, Page, and Castleton. Or visit our website, www.onsteadlaw.com.
The Hillsborough and Central Valley School Districts congratulate the seniors on your success and wish you well in your future endeavors. They encourage you to step into your future, secure in the knowledge that this world needs you and the unique, inspiring gifts that only you can give. Best wishes go with you graduates as you prepare for the greater challenges ahead in a world of new possibilities. Congratulations, graduates, from the administration and staff of the Hillsborough and Central Valley School Districts. To all students, parents, and families of the Hillsborough and Central Valley Schools, thank you for a great year.
Bottom of the 6th inning, we go on the Bank North scoreboard. Vikings lead it by 3, but going back to what happened on Monday, Chase Miller, Josh Boyko with you here. Grace Fletchock 0 for 2, leading off here in the 6th. This is where the Squirrels were able to score their runs against Danica Rath. We'll see if that continues here. Fletchock hits one on a rope, and that one is gloved by the left fielder. Schmitz took 2 steps in, had to stop, took a step back, put the hand out, and somehow snow-coned a softball, and Fletchock absolutely uncorked that one. Unfortunately, it went right to left fielder.
Yeah, and that's just how things have been going for the Squirrels in this game. They have barreled up only a select amount of balls, and not many of them are finding the grass, unfortunately.
That one sounded good immediately off the plate, wondering if that might have been a home run variety, as this will miss for a ball at 1-0, and that's the thing. You've had one team who's hit 3 home runs, albeit all solo home runs. Burt Blyleven said, well, solo home runs don't really beat you too many times, but in this game with how Rath is pitching, that could quite honestly be the difference. 1-0. That'll miss inside now, 2-0. So if you're the Squirrels, how can you put quality bats together against Rath where they haven't had outside the first inning back-to-back batters reach base? This one's going to be filleted to right, and that's going to die in front of the right fielder to Zarek. Bussey gets a opposite field single here with 1 down in the 6th.
Well, there's a much-needed base runner there for the Squirrels. We'll see if they can translate that into a rally here. As, like you said, this was the inning that they were able to make their comeback against these very Vikings on Monday afternoon.
As we'll have a courtesy runner coming in the game now for the Central Cass Squirrels. In for Bussey. So we'll get a courtesy runner on it first. As Flanagan will come on here, and then Aspen Preen 0 for 2 here today. The tying run in the on-deck circle, but right now all that Central Cass is really worried about is trying to at least get that 0 off the scoreboard here and get a run across in the 6th. First pitch swinging, Aspen Preen might do it here. That one hit deep to left field. That one is gone! It's gone! Schmitz tried to leap for it. It goes over the outstretched glove of Schmitz. 1 pitch and 1 hit to Preen, and we got a brand new ball game. It's Kindred-Richland 3, Central Cass 2 on our 4th home run of the evening.
Well, that's the 2nd home run for Aspen Preen in this tournament, and that's pretty much where she hit the other one too. And that's a catcher right there that can do it behind the plate and do it in the batter's box, and that is the biggest swing for the Squirrels in this tournament, bringing them within 1 of Rath and Kindred-Richland.
So the 6th hit finally provides runs for the Central Cass Squirrels, and an opposite field 2-run jack to Preen. If you've been sitting in left field or center today, you've been busy out there. You've had some, I know you're not taking away the softballs here in high school. You give it back to the dugout to replay, but you could have some souvenirs, Josh, if you wanted to scamper out of here early. Olivia Haugen takes a ball, now 2-0. Haugen's reached base twice with a double in the second and error in the fourth, and that's the first time since the first inning that 2 batters in a row have gotten on board against Rath. 2-0 is going to be lace foul, and it'll be 2-1.
Yeah, that is just the biggest swing you could think of right there for Central Cass. Just the bats could not get going, even if it was barreled up like the Fletchock out earlier last inning. But Aspen Preen comes through with a huge hit, and you knew Central Cass was not going to just go down quietly here in a championship game. They are too good for that, and they're right back in this thing.
As we had someone running right through our camera. Fortunately, they didn't hit it, but we saw the facial, if you will. The 3-1 is going to be hit on the ground. Roland's going to have a tough play on this one. Roland backhands it, throws it across, not in time, and Olivia Haugen with an infield single here, and the Squirrels have the tying run on base. You can hear the momentum. You can hear the noise coming from the third base dugout as Natalie Fontaine has hit 2 pretty hard outs in terms of a grounder and a line out here. 0 for 2. Number 7 batter for Central Cass stands as the go-ahead run for the Squirrels.
Yeah, Squirrels still have some dangerous bats here at that bottom third of the lineup, so you can't take any of this lightly if you're Danica Rath.
5 batters in the first inning, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, and batter number 5 here in the sixth for Central Cass. 0-1 offering on the way for Rath. That splits the plate for a strike at 0-2. Stieg is due up next for Kindred-Richland. 8, 9, and 1 batters, which has been a productive part of the order earlier today against Northern Cass, and so far here for the Vikings to get some runners on. The 0-2. That'll miss. Taking an extra little step there was Haugen. Fuchsa, though, Josh, that's someone you're going to run on maybe too many times.
No, she shows off the arm each and every half inning when she's thrown down to second just for the practice, and that will discourage you as a runner.
Off-speed pitch. Rath looks to get the lead runner rolling. They're able to get the lead runner on 1-6 on the putout. Fontaine able to reach base, and a really heads-up play by Rath because that one rolled right back to her, and she wasted very little time making sure that she got the lead runner out 1-6 as Haugen is retired, and that's big because now there's a runner at first instead of second. As Stieg, the freshman, 0 for 1 here today. Zimmerman came in to pinch hit for her back in the fifth. First pitch, little check swing back to the backstop here at now 0-1. But regardless, even if Central Cass is unable to tie it here, 2 large runs in the bottom half of the sixth inning to cut that 3-0 deficit down to 1. And more importantly, the top of the lineup is a little bit closer to coming up as the off-speed pitch is now 0-2.
That was absolute filth right there.
It just looks like it's going to be at your hip, and then the last second takes about a foot nosedive into the catcher's glove. The 0-2 back at it again. This one's going to be hit, and it's going to be a base knock. Rounding second base here is going to be Fontaine. She'll stay there. Saw the pitch once, saw the pitch twice, and Stieg able to stay through it enough, Josh, and hit one into left field.
Yeah, that's a good piece of hitting right there. Is that changeup, it has such good arm action on it. Arm action is something you usually talk about with baseball for a changeup because it looks exactly like the fastball coming out of the hand, and then it just dies when it's getting to the plate. You have no idea that's a changeup until the last second, but a good piece of hitting, yanking it into left field.
And Wixell's going to hit one into right. Fontaine, she's going to round third. Here's the throw, and it's in time. Oh, what a throw by Tazark. A one-hopper to Fuchsa, and Fontaine has gone down at home. Stieg hits one, make that Wixell. Again, hits one into right. The officials are going to talk it over here with the umpiring crew. We might potentially have a tie ball game here if it is. The run is going to score. So they're going to come out here and see if there is an inadvertent hit by the third baseman that did not allow Natalie Fontaine to have a free swing around third with a runner's interference, and that's what it's going to happen. So now all of a sudden you have a 3-3 ball game as Fontaine comes in to score. The Squirrels will have Stieg at third base, and Wixell stands at second, and we're 3 up here in the bottom of the sixth inning with runners in scoring position. Oh, what a turn of events. So 3-3, Fontaine comes in to score. as we're tied in the bottom of the 6th inning.
That's unbelievable right there.
Runner's interference ties the game. Otherwise, Tazarek might have had the RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the game with the throwout. First pitch swinging a high hopper to Roland. Roland at short comes across. Stretching there is Johnson. And oh, baby, buckle up for the last inning coming up around the corner as Mitchell is retired 6-3 on the putout. There was 4 singles and a homer. 3 runs come across on 5 hits. 2 runners left on base and no errors. Through 6, we're tied at 3 on yourliveevent.com.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 109 Main Street in Hunter.
Full Service Foods in Hillsboro provides contract packaging and private label foods for your local and regional retail stores. Full Service Foods is a leader in the upper Midwest for less than truckload quantities for contract manufactured sauces and dressings. They are a privately held company with a reputation for quality and customer service. Full Service Foods is proud to be in Hillsboro and bringing employment opportunities to the area. Find out more at fullservicefoods.com. Full Service Foods of Hillsboro, proud to support this community event.
As we make our way here to the top of the 7th inning, a reminder, these 2 teams played 11 innings earlier this season. We'll see if we get there. Region 2 individual qualifier earlier today. A couple of Kindred Vikings were able to make their way with Kyle, Hunter, and Trey making their way. Trey qualifying for state. And the meet in Carrington. Everybody wants from the golfing side to get to Carrington, as there were 3 runs off of 5 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base in the bottom half of the 6th. Mauk, Tazarek, and Roland here against Mitchell. 0-1 offering here with Mitchell. This is foul back now, 0-2. And old Uncle Charlie, or Uncle Mo if you want to call it, now kind of stands in the third base dugout a little bit here, Josh. And how can the Vikings try to answer with a run here in the top half of the 7th?
It starts with the leadoff hitter, Mauk, right here, just trying to get some speed on the base paths and wreak some havoc there to force across a run in any way possible, because you don't want momentum on the side of the Squirrels going to the bottom inning with a tie and a chance to walk it off.
No balls, 2 strikes, and with most softball fields, there's no lights. So if these 2 teams do possibly play 11, it'll start getting interesting.
We might start running out of daylight at that point.
Bring out the cars, bring out the lights, illuminate the field here at Progressive Egg Field in Hankinson. The 0-2. Hit on the ground, and that one is going to be gloved for a moment by Stieg. Runner's going to round first here in Mauk. Now they got her opportunity with the tag, and that'll be 1 down. So a rounding first big there was Mauk, and as she rounded first, you're going to have the out there with Butsy to what I saw, Josh, unless you saw something a little different, because it looked like Mauk was able to beat the throw at first.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she turned. She must have thought that ball got through third base right there and didn't expect a play at first.
So we'll go down as a hit, but then when you round first base and go to second, again, once you make any attempt to go to second, you better go to second or you better get yourself out of a pickle. But she rounded, and then all of a sudden Bussy was like, well, you're rounding. I'm just going to put my glove on you and get the out.
Not something that the Vikings could afford to have happen right there.
Tazarek, this one. Mitchell goes through her wickets for a moment, regains, and in time for the putout. 1-3, and the heady play by Mitchell got enough of the softball there with the glove. Kept it underneath her for a moment, didn't panic, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, the composure there from the freshman in the circle, just incredible. Now she's just 1 out away from giving her dugout a chance to walk this off.
So 2 down here in the 7th. Whitney Mitchell looking for the final out here of the 7th, and the Squirrels, all that they would need would be a run to walk it off in the bottom half, as Leah Rowland with a home run, a single with a stolen base, and a fly out her last time up to the plate. That was to Sherwhite in center. 2-3 so far here to the leadoff batter. Mitchell with the 0-1. Rise ball, that'll miss. Now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, they want to get Fuchsa back up to the plate with runners on in this inning if possible, but they're going to need both Roland and Rath to reach to extend the inning.
1-1 on the way here to Roland. Roland hits one foul. It'll be 1-2. And for the Squirrels, your 2, 3, and 4 batters, Sherwhite, Fletchock, and Bussey, are due up. In the 6th, it was the 3, 4, and 5 batters. And what is it about the 6th inning here, Josh and Hankinson, when the Squirrels and the Vikings meet?
I don't know exactly. I can't really put my finger on it, but the pitchers have been fantastic in this game, but the batters just catch up, I guess, in the 6th.
The 1-2 foul back, and now the shadows are starting to creep into play a little bit if you're a hitter, as the pitcher is in the sun. Home plate is in the sun, but the dugout putting some shadows now, contending with both of these teams.
Yeah, never easy as a hitter when you're trying to contend with 2 different conditions of light.
The 1-2, and Mitchell rings up Roland for her 10th strikeout of the evening. No runs across here on the way. On a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played 6.5 on the Bank North scoreboard. We're tied at 3 here on your liveevent.com.
It's the most prestigious, challenging rep warning tour on dirt. The most wanted, baddest outlaws, and the most powerful late models on the planet. The world of outlaws, King's Late Models.
So for those of you that are just joining us, this in-game update brought to you in part by the Red River Valley Fair. The difference in this game between these two teams, the Vikings with 3 runs off 3 solo home runs by Roland, Fuchsa, and Fuchsa. They led 3-0 going to 6th. Aspen Preen hit an opposite field shot to left center for a home run. That was a 2-run variety. Wixo gets a base knock to right. Tazarek throws a 1-hopper to Fuchsa to gun down Fontaine at home, but there was a runner's interference called, which allowed the game to be tied at 3, and otherwise it would have retired the side, and it would be a 1-run game for the Vikings heading to the 7th. Regardless, my heart is racing just as much as we're tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And this has been an absolute thriller between these two teams, and we expected no less.
This will miss out of the zone to Sophie Sherwhite here. So Sherwhite, Fletchock, and Bussey. Sophie here today has reached base back in the 1st inning, is 0 for 3. She reached base on a fielder's choice. This one is fouled to the net. I believe the count is 2-1, or it might be 1-1. It says 1-1 on the scoreboard here. I think it's 2-1. Yes, it is. So 2 balls and a strike on the way here to the freshman center fielder. Danica Rath has given up 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned with a couple of strikeouts. This one is fouled. Now 2-2. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what if they meet in Jamestown? What are we going to get for the Super Encore if they meet for a 5th time, particularly if it's a semifinal or possibly a championship-esque kind of a game? This one, strike 3 looking, and Rath rings her up for her 4th strikeout.
That is massive right there, keeping a leadoff base runner off the base paths with the 2-3-4 due up in the lineup. Now here comes Fletchock.
Fletchock nearly hit one out to left. It was a line drive out to Schmitz, and if Schmitz didn't catch it, it probably would have one-hopped or hit the facing of the wall. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Vikings need extras. Squirrels would like to finish it off here as this one misses out of the zone. It's 1-0. I'm not sure what's in the water when these two teams played 2 1-run games and a 3-run game that went 11. This one foul back. Now 1-1.
This is just a matchup between 2 incredible teams, 2 incredibly coached teams with veteran players, and they just have experience coming to this point in the tournament every year, so it just prepares you for the next year and every batch of players on out.
The 1-1 offering from Rath. This one swung and a miss by Fletchock. 1-2 also. Not sure what it's in Region 1's water this year. Baseball went to 8 innings where Central Cass won 4-3. Well, you look at the scoreboard, you look at the score, Josh. I'm not saying deja vu if you're a Squirrel fan, but that's what the Squirrels are hoping for. The 1-2 hit on the ground. Here comes the shortstop, Roland, who's been kept busy here today, across in time to retire Fletchuk. And tell you what, they say the middle of the lineup, the catcher, or at least defensively, the middle up the middle, Josh, to play well. And Roland has played extremely well here today against Northern Cass, now against Central Cass.
Yeah, she's been kept very busy, but she's fielded her position very well, and that has kept them in the game.
So 2 down here in the bottom half of the 7th. Bussey stands to the plate, 2 for 3 today with a pair of singles in the first and her last time up in the 6th. Trying to get a 2-out rally here for the Squirrels. I don't miss, now 1-0 on the opposite side. Well, Vikings, if we do get to the 8th, will bring up their 2, 3, and 4 batters in Rath, Fuchsa, and Jordheim. This one is fisted, playable opportunity here, but over the outstretched glove of both Fuchsa and Johnson, as it will be a ball and a strike. A contest that got underway an hour and just over a half ago here today, 91 minutes here in this one. One ball, one strike upcoming here. This one will miss. Now it'll be 2-1. Just going back through that 11-inning game, just seeing what the time was on that particular affair. 2 hours and 23 minutes. The difference, we started at 4:30. This one started at 6:11.
Get a Major League Baseball game in it at that pace in this day and age. 2
balls and a strike on the way here for Rath. Off speed, Bussey hits a 2-grounder to mouth, 4-3, and well, we got extras. Bring out the popcorn here in Hankinson as we're going to the 8th. A 3-up, 3-down 7th, tied at 3 on the Bank North scoreboard. We got extras here in Hankinson on your liveevent.com.
At Dakota Heritage Bank, we know your schedules can get hectic, and you don't always have time to get to the bank during regular banking hours. We make it easy for you with mobile banking, online banking, and bill pay, services that we offer for free. This is Michelle with Dakota Heritage Bank, inviting you to do your banking with us anytime, anywhere. Just go to dhbanknd.com or download the mobile app for convenient on-the-go banking, serving you with locations across North Dakota and northwestern Minnesota. Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Goose River Bank is here for the communities we serve, building relationships that last a lifetime, serving the strong Red River Valley and beyond. We are your neighbors, friends, and family, committed to providing everything from everyday personal banking to loans for your farm or business. Visit one of our locations in Mayville, Hillsboro, or Hatton, or reach out and we'll happily come to you, because it's the neighborly thing to do. Goose River Bank, strong communities.
Top of the 8th inning, Whitney Mitchell against Danica Rath here. Pitcher, mano y mano, however you want to say it, as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Extra inning affair here in Region 1 softball, just like we had in Region 1 baseball earlier in the week in Castleton on Monday night between the Jags and the Squirrels. 0-1 in there for a strike now at 0-2. Danica Rath 0 for 3. Did reach base via the air on the third and had a stolen base as well. 2 strikes here to the number 2 batter in the lineup. Mitchell with 10 strikeouts on the night. This one fisted, and that one will be off the netting. 3 runs so far here for the Vikings. They've had 5 hits, 3 of those hits being home runs. They have left 5 runners on base and committed 2 errors. We'll get to Central Cass's line score after the pitch here by Whitney Mitchell. 0-2, that'll miss inside for the Squirrels. 3 runs on the 6th. The Squirrels with 9 hits, 1 error, and Central Cass has left 7 runners on base. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the way here. Mitchell to Rath. This one's going to be hit up the third base line, and that'll go foul. Now 1-2. Josh, what's impressed you most about these 2 teams here today as we head to the extras?
It's been clean softball for a lot of this, and it's just pleasing to the eye to watch these 2 teams and how evenly they match up against each other.
As we'll have the 1-2 pitch upcoming yet again. This hit in the air up the third base line. That'll go foul, and we'll do it all over again, and we'll keep it now at 1-2. So Danica Rath fouling off a couple of pitches here, and then the question is, does Scott Kost, whether Rath reaches base or not, does he pitch to Fuchsa, who has 2 solo home runs so far here today in 3 at-bats?
I was going to ask you kind of the same thing, like maybe an intentional walk type of thing.
1-2. Rath sees this one. This will be an opportunity for almost a fan as that hits the second step up in the grandstands here. For a second there, I was wondering if Josh again brought his glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
If I wasn't attached to this headset right now, I might have been first step over into the bleachers right there. So
Mitchell battling here with Rath. This one is popped up, and I'll do it all over again. This is what a Region 1 championship feels like.
Yeah, don't tempt me on trying to go after this right now, but this is not about me. This is about Danica Rath's battle at the plate right now, and she is hanging tough. Like you said, this is a championship level at bat and a championship level inning right here.
The opportunity for Mitchell yet again, the 1-2, and, well, spoiling another pitch is Rath so much that the home plate umpire here in Chad Mears says, I need some more softballs, as she has spoiled about 3 of them completely out of play and 1 in play here.
And, I mean, this is what we've seen from the Kindred-Richland Vikings throughout this tournament. They do not give easy outs when they're in the batter's box. We saw it with Fuchsa looming on deck. Saw 23 of the first 44 pitches from Whitney Mitchell.
As Mitchell nearly earns the strikeout.
That's either incredible eye at the plate or got tied up by a pitch. Either way, it's a 2-2 count now.
If we go about another 45 minutes here, I'm curious on the lighting of how they would potentially call a game like this. The 2-2. This is going to be hit in the air. That's going to be hit for a base knock. Danica Rath is aboard, and now what do you do with Fuchsa? Rath gets aboard with her first hit of the game. That'll be the 6th one against Whitney Mitchell, and the ever-dangerous senior catcher, Mackenzie Fuchsa, steps up to the plate, and there's nowhere to put her. And if you're Central Cass, do you want to roll the dice, if you will, and give her the 4-pitch intentional, but then put the go-ahead run in scoring position?
You're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. It's nothing, no good options right now.
And this one's going to go all the way to the backstop. Well, the option might get answered right there as Fuchsa will take a ball. Danica Rath will make her way to second on the wild pitch. And now Scott Kost going to talk it over with his squad. We'll take a quick break as well. Back after this on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks, they make sure your vehicle gets the best standard of care to get it back on the road as quickly as possible. Lonnie and his team are some of the most highly trained in the industry. With state-of-the-art technology and superior products, your vehicle will leave in great condition. With their drive-in claims area, the process is smooth and easy. Let Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks provide you and your vehicle with premium care and attention. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. Abra Auto Body and Glass of Grand Forks.
Top of the 8th inning, Chase Miller, Josh Boyko, and you here on YourLiveEvent.com. Scott Kost coming out here to talk it over with his pitcher on the infield, Mitchell. Just allowing everybody to know what to do if it gets hit in your direction. Fuchsa with a hitter's count, 1 ball, no strikes, and she has planted 2 into left field here today. Looking to make it 3 or at least get something in the outfield. The 1-0 pitch from Mitchell. This is smoked. But a loud strike. It's now 1-1.
Well, that was about the same distance as the home runs right there, but it ended up on the wrong field.
Kind of reminds you of Major League, a deep foul down the left field line. And we'll do it all over again. 1 ball and 1 strike. And after that one, Scott goes, I don't want to deal with Fuchsa, so that'll be the intentional walk. The 3rd free pass of the game for Mitchell. This is the first intentional. And then we'll have a courtesy runner coming on here for the Kindred Vikings with Sierra Nipstead, the 8th grader.
That might be the first time I saw a strike lead to an intentional walk in that at-bat. Usually it's when you fall behind 2-0, 3-0 in the count, 3-1. That's when it's not worth trying to face that hitter anymore. That ball was yanked so hard and so far foul That's what convinced Scott Kost to put her on first right there.
Jansen Jordheim takes a ball 0 for 3 here today with 2 strikeouts. To your point, if Fuchsa is maybe just a split second behind that ball, that could be hit 225 down the left field line, and the Vikings have a 2-run lead. That's how tight it is. Runner at second in Rath. At first is Nipstead. The 1-0 pitch. Missing out of the zone now at 2-0. Central Cass, no matter what happens here in the 8th, will have another chance to come to the plate in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The question is, are we tied, or will the Vikings have a lead looking to bunt? This one goes foul. Now it's 2-1. Yeah, Fuchsa 1-0, and she absolutely uncorked one foul. And then the intentional walk comes across from there. Both teams, this is going to be hit in the air. That's to right field. Jansen Jordheim hits this one deep, and this is off the glove of Gunnufson. Staying at third base as everybody moves up 60 feet because they have to stay put with no outs. So Rath will take second. Nipstead will take first. That one goes off the glove of Gunnufson. A difficult play by the right fielder, but regardless, Jordheim is aboard. I was going to say, when this game went 11 innings back on May the 7th, both teams scored a run in the 8th before the Squirrels scored 3 in the 11th. It's deja vu all over again. Bases loaded here for the Vikings, and nowhere to put Ammerman, who's 0 for 3 today. This one is fisted foul. And Gunnufson had to fight the ball tailing away from her, Josh, and had to come back. She's gone to sunglasses fighting the sun. Nearly came up with an incredible catch, but that one just hit the heel of the glove and bounced out.
Yeah, nearly a spectacular grab there in the biggest of moments, but also fired in an absolute dart to the infield.
This one is going to be nearly a C&I single down the left field line. Instead, it's now 0-2. Mitchell will love a strikeout. Love something hit weak back to her to try to at least get an out or get the lead runner. Runner at third is Rath, reach base on a single. Nipstead at second, the courtesy runner for Fuchsa, who is intentionally walked, and then Jordheim stands at first. The 0-2 pitch on the way from Mitchell. Out of the zone, it's now 1-2. You could hear a collective groan for the team, rooting for all black here in Central Cass, and a collective gasp of air that was let out from the Kindred faithful, thinking that might have been a strike, Josh. It was that close.
Yeah, very borderline right there, as Mitchell's been around the zone all night long.
The 1-2. This is going to be fisted. That'll be down for a base knock. Fletchock comes in, tries to look at the runners, and it's the perfect Bermuda's Triangle hit on the infield if you're Ammerman. It was fisted off over Mitchell as you had Haugen come in at second, trying to get that one as well. And then by the time it bounced and hit, Fletchock was looking for everyone, and then just unfortunate there as Avery gets the infield base knock. Regardless, the Kindred-Richland Vikings now take a 4-3 lead, thanks in part to an infield RBI single here for Ammerman, and Rath comes in and scores.
It's a fortunate bounce right there, and just placed in the absolute perfect spot right there. So Kindred-Richland taking advantage of the bases loaded, nobody out. They still have that scenario.
Here's the pitch by Mitchell. That'll miss to Cora Johnson. 4 batters up and a runner on so far and in here for the Vikings. A single, a walk, an error, and a single has allowed to a run here for Kindred-Richland. Schmitz is due up next. Mitchell and the Squirrels looking for an out. This one foul tipped off of Preen. It's now 1-1. Going back to that pitch to Avery, 2 pitches prior to that one, that was that close to being 1 out. Instead, a softball that gets hit about 45 to 50 feet, Josh. Just, again, perfect spot. If you were Avery, you couldn't have hit it any better if you were on that one.
No, just placed in the absolute perfect spot, and that's the breaks you get sometimes. Tough no call for the strike, not strike 3 for Mitchell earlier.
1-1 is fouled. Now it'll be 1-2. For the Squirrels, it'll be Preen, Haugen, and Fontaine once we get to the bottom half of the 8th inning. The 5, 6, and 7 batters Also still to come, we'll get to our Petro Stopping Center post-game show just off of 45th Street to 994 in Fargo. Get to that and more still to come here in Hankinson. The 1-2, did it come in and hit her? Or did it hit the knob? Okay, well, Cora Johnson, I'll give her credit. Sometimes in that situation as a batter, you'll fake it as if you did get hit and go to first, but she didn't flinch after it hit the knob of the bat.
Oh, some integrity right there, even with the championship on the line.
Central Cass with Whitney Mitchell will look into the dugout, get the sign, the 1-2 upcoming. This is sky to center, playable for Sherwhite. Sherwhite makes the glove, going to throw and hit the relay for a moment, but then it gets by Mitchell. Preen is able to back this one up. It's a sacrifice fly. Coming in to score is Nipstead. Jordheim will take third, and Ammerman will take second. And it's a new score now on the Bank North scoreboard, as it is a 5-3 advantage. So one down, but a large second run here for the Vikings on the sacrifice fly coming there for Cora Johnson. Schmitz 0 for 2 looking to squeeze this one. Not a suicide, more of a safety squeeze. Would have been interesting as the runner at third stayed put in Jordheim, and then Ammerman was about 10 feet away from third base. If the third baseman does come in, and Stieg, if that was a fair ball, instead it goes foul, it's 0-1. So that throw did allow the runner again in Ammerman to go to first to second. Going to third immediately was Jordheim on the tag. Infield playing in with one out. Big swing here for Schmitz. It's now 0-2. So Vikings 2 runs in the first, a run in the fifth, and so far 2 runs here in the 8th. Mitchell looking into Preen behind the plate. The 0-2. This one is going to be hit into center. Coming on will be Wixow into left center. Here's the throw, trying to tag. The throw not going to be in time. Coming in to score is Jordheim. Ammerman takes third. It's another sacrifice fly, and the Vikings now lead it by 3.
I mean, that's 2 of the biggest productive outs you will ever see right there, and credit to the Vikings not trying to overswing, not trying to do too much. They're going to put the ball in play, as they always do, and those are 2 huge runs right there.
Without question. Understanding the situation, trying to get it out of the infield, and they couldn't have hit any better shots on that one as Wixow's throw with the speed again there by Jordheim. Even if it was a perfect throw, I'm not sure it would have got Jansen at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes on the way to Mauk, who's 1 of 2 with a single and a walk. Her last 2 times up. This is fisted right to the third baseman, and Stieg able to hit the pop-up there to retire this side. But 3 runs come across off 2 hits. There was 2 errors, and also there was a runner left on base. As we played 7.5 in the Region 1 Championship, the Vikings put up a 3 spot in the top half on YourLiveEvent.com.
Central Cass Schools' mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Central Cass down to their final 3 outs of the contest. As will be Preen, Haugen, and Fontaine due up. Aspen Preen, her last time up, made it a 3-2 ball game with a homer to left center field, which Schmitz almost snagged in the air, but Preen earned the homer. As Danica Rath right now is trying to go the distance here in the circle for the Kindred-Richland Vikings and trying to see if the Vikings can win their 2nd straight Region 1 title tournament. This one is popped to left field, and that one's going to go foul. As we had Rowland and Schmitz hustling after that one up the left field line. Didn't miss by much. It's now 0-1. Give credit to where credit's due. The umpire there, Josh, was hustling with them right down the third base line.
Yeah, Colby Pennick with the sprint down the left field line to make that fair foul call.
Aspen Preen, we've shown the ability throughout the year and throughout her time to go the opposite way. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, it will be 1-1. Make sure you stay tuned to our Petro Stopping Center's post-game show as we will get to the Senior Athlete of the Year, Coach of the Year, and the All-Region 1 softball team as well here in Hankinson. The 1-1. Check swing not going through, now 2-1. 3 runs across the Vikings in the 8th inning. 2-1 will be in there for a strike at 2-2. The question, is that enough? Vikings did lead at one point 3-0 after 4.5. Squirrels are 2 runs in the 6th, make that 3 runs in the 6th, as this one's a one-hopper back to the pitcher, and Central Cass is down to their final 2 outs. Rath to Johnson, and there's 1 down here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. As you'll have Olivia Haugen, a double, a single, and she reached base on an error. The sophomore second baseman has found a multitude of ways to get on base here for Scott Kost and the Squirrels. Here's the righty Rath. This one will miss low, now 1-0. What an incredible contest this has been. We've been treated, quite frankly, to 2 really good Region 1 title games, as this one is hit right back up the middle by Haugen, and it's a 1-out single here for the Squirrels.
Now you got life. Got to keep the line moving, but you got life right now. There's a spark on the base paths, and you just got to keep the line on moving.
As Fontaine will dig in now here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Reach base on a fielder's choice her last time up in the 6th with a run scored, and as we alluded to, have been treated to 2 really good Region 1 games. The Region 1 baseball championship between Central Cass and Northern Cass, as that one went 8 innings, a 4-3 win, as right now coming across here, just getting a little work done it seems like. Here's the first baseman for Johnson potentially, for, actually, check that, it's Tazarek here coming in for the Vikings, just kind of showing her hand and taking a look, making sure everything is good as they come out. So for the Vikings, they will come out here making sure everything looks good, as they will attend to the first baseman that is here for Kindred-Richland. So still to come again, we'll get to our Petro Stopping Center post-game show. Love that chicken from Popeyes, a juicy cheesesteak to a mouth-watering Cinnabon, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or night with a Dolly Down restaurant as well. Checking out the Petro Stopping Center in Fargo for a feast fit for a king. They're more than just a convenience store. They're the Petro Stopping Center. Also, we'll get to our Artie Canner Prizes feature precision play the contest with, obviously, it's the home run ball is part of it, but what's part number 2 as it is Cora Johnson as they're taping up, and she will come back here as everybody gets reset. Fontaine, again, the junior designated player, will dig in here against Rath, as about 3/4 of the infield is in the shadows. 1 down. The pitch swung on and missed. Now 0-1. Central Cass finding somehow, some way to bring the tying run to home plate. Runner at first is Haugen. This is going to be a fly ball hit to center. Jordheim going back, and she will make the catch for the second out. Good hit by Fontaine, but got underneath it just enough, as there's 2 down here for Central Cass. Stieg will dig in with a single her last time up, 1 of 2 here in this contest. As we were alluding to earlier before they were taping up Corey Johnson, Region 1 baseball and softball, these championship games have been tremendous. Both have gone 8 innings. The question is, can this one possibly get to the 9th? The pitch. That'll miss. Vikings fans hoping for a resounding no to that answer. Central Cass, they're at least looking for 9. If not, can they put 2-3 really good at-bats together here in the 8th? That'll miss as well. Now 2-0.
Squirrels have just been the thorn in the side of the Vikings every time they've met so far, but They're now away right now, putting that all behind them and win the most important one to this point.
Danica Rath falls behind in the count. 2-0. Big swing. This one into the glove of Fuchsa, now 2-1. Don't mind the aggressiveness there by the freshman Stieg at 2-0. You know you're probably going to get a pretty good pitch to hit. Now we'll see how aggressive she is here on 2-1. Fastball comes in now 2-2. Here's the question. Does Danica Rath go to a similar pitch? Or here is the potential off speed upcoming. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Region 1 Softball Tournament Championship on the line. This is going to be hit in the air. That's to left center field. Jordheim going back. Jordheim to the wall, and that's gone! That is a long fly ball, a 2-run homer here for the freshman Stieg, and the Squirrels will bring the tying run to the plate by the name of Paige Wixow.
Unbelievable. An absolute rope out to left center field, and we're back to within 1 in 1 swing of the bat. That is unbelievable. Down to your final strike, and the freshman comes through, the 8-hitter, and Stieg just coming through in the biggest way possible. And now Wixow, the tying run to the plate. Kindred unable to close it out as of now.
That's 5 homers combined. The Squirrels have hit 2 2-run homers. Kindred-Richland has hit 3 solo homers. First pitch swinging by Wixow. It's now 0-1. The number 9 batter, the senior left fielder, 2 of 3 here today, then goes back to the top of the lineup for Central Cass. A single, a homer, and now the question is, what else do the Squirrels have in them, or can Rath get the final out? The 0-1, that'll miss at 1-1. There must be like a jetway out to left field here today, because there has been a multitude of home runs to left center.
All tournament, man. It's been right there.
Fortunate our camera is still in good shape. The 1-1 pitch. That'll miss now, 2-1. A grounder, a single, a fly out, and a 2-run homer.
With 2 strikes, I might add.
That was a big-time hit for the freshman Stieg. The 2-1 offering. Big rip there by Wixow. It's now 2-2, and we'll do it all over again. The Region 1 Tournament Championship is on the line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in extras here in the 8th. Rath looking in, the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and the Vikings have won back-to-back Region 1 Tournament Championships. In a game that lasts 1 hour and 57 minutes, the Vikings take the win 6-5 over Kindred-Richland. Danica Rath with her 5th strikeout of the night. The Squirrels and the Vikings will be making their way to state. Now it's just a matter of where will they be placed in the quarterfinals. The Kindred-Richland Vikings improved to 16-7 on the season. Central Cass drops to 15-6. Danica Rath picks up the win here today for the Vikings, while Whitney Mitchell will pick up the loss on the opposite side for the Central Cass Squirrels. Kindred-Richland with 2 runs that they gave up in the bottom half of the 8th, but when they needed it, the senior Danica Rath goes the distance. 8 innings of work, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. For the Vikings and the Squirrels here, Central Cass, 5 runs, 11 hits. They committed 3 errors, and they left 7 runners on base. Well, for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, able to score 6 runs, tallying them up 4, 6, 7 hits. They committed 2 errors, and Kindred-Richland here in this one left 6 runners on. Danica Rath, 8 innings of work, 11 hits, 5 runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. Whitney Mitchell, 8 innings of work as well, with those 7 hits, 6 runs that she gave up, 3 walks, and 10 strikeouts. This is our Petro Stopping Center postgame show. Petro Stopping Center, the one-stop travel hub for all of your road trip needs. They got you covered around the clock just off of 45th Street and on 94 in Fargo. Josh, let's talk it over here. What impressed you most about this game, which quite frankly, from a fan's perspective, I would hope it's still going, but from these two teams and the nerves of everyone around here, probably good that it's wrapped up. Both, again, are moving on to Jamestown next Thursday through Saturday, but what impressed you most with this another classic between the Squirrels and the Vikings?
Instant classic is absolutely right. I mean, this is what you hope for with the championship baseball and softball right here. Extra innings with baseball in the 8th inning with Northern Cass and Central Cass, and then you get tonight just a pristine night for softball, and these teams did not disappoint. The pitching shone through at the biggest moments, but we also had the most clutch of home runs to begin this game, near the end of this game. Just every aspect of a good softball game was right here on display tonight from these two incredibly talented ball clubs.
Let's get to our Arctic Enterprises feature precision play of the contest. Arctic Enterprises with locations in Hillsboro. They hope that for the upcoming planting season that you had a good planting season. Also, they thank you for your business. Go to planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com. Still to come here, our Arctic Enterprises feature precision play the contest has to be the home run when you hit 5 of them. 3 of them the solo variety, which gave Kindred-Richland a 3-0 lead after the 5th. A 2-run hot, a 2-run shot by Preen, which made it 3-2, and a 2-run shot by Stieg, which made it 6-5. But I think when needed most, Danica Rath did a little bit of everything. A leadoff single in the 8th. She went the distance in the 8th. I think a Rath-Fuchs combination here, kind of the plays of the game throughout as well, Josh.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were in sync in the circle and behind the plate, and they both contributed offensively, but Fuchs with those 2 massive home runs proved to be the difference.
Let's also get to our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection. Halstead Telephone Company, keeping you connected. Discover local reliability that you can trust. Go to halsteadtel.com. That, again, is halsteadtel.com. The post-game connection, I'm going to say it's going to be the infield play of Leah Rowland. I mean, the softball just kept coming to her, and she made play after play after play, Josh. Just talk about what Leah Rowland was able to do at short and as the leadoff spot as well.
I mean, if you give any errors up at shortstop right there, this game is probably still going.
As the Central Cass Squirrels are getting their hardware here as they take the Region 1 runner-up champ. Again, that is our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection. As this continues on our Petro Stopping Center's post-game show, the Kindred-Richland Vikings will be coming out here and earning, as they did last year in Kindred, defending their title with back-to-back Region 1 tournament championships here. 4th time is the charm, I guess, in 8 innings at 6-5. Still to come, we'll hear from some of the victorious players. Also from there, we will try to get to the All-Region 1 tournament team, the senior athlete and the coach of the year as well, as they will announce now the all-region team here as voted on by the coaches. 15 players earned the selection here in 2024 as they have 15 players coming out. And we'll also name the senior athlete and the coach of the year as well. So again, Kindred-Richland 6-5 over Central Cass. From the Enderlin Eagles, representing Enderlin will be Amethyst Billing here. Brady Bussey will also be 2 of the 15 players selected. Part of the Pirate Fast Pitch team, Kylie Falk will be joined as well as the players will make their way. As you have Grace Fletchock here from the Central Cass Squirrels, the senior, also part of the Shield Softball All-Star Series. Ashlyn Furch here from the Pirates Fast Pitch team. Mackenzie Fuchsa, 2 solo homers, able to come out here. Jansen Jordheim had a couple of big key hits throughout this contest. Kaylee Kittleson here from Hillsboro Central Valley for the Burros. Kirsten Lowen here, a really good pitcher for the Pirates Fast Pitch. Whitney Mitchell for Central Cass went 8 innings in the loss but had 10 strikeouts. Aspen Preen with a opposite field 2-run home run here today. Peyton Quam from Hillsborough Central Valley, an awfully good catcher in her own right, part of the Burros. Danica Rath from the Kindred-Richland Vikings, the senior again, going the complete game. Leah Rowland from the Kindred-Richland Vikings. Then you had Addie Rust here from Northern Cass. Sophie Sherwhite from the Central Cass Squirrels. For these 15 players again. Central Cass with 5 players selected. With Fletchock, Mitchell, Bussey, Preen, and Sherwhite. Kindred-Richland with 4 players with Danica Rath, Mackenzie Fuchsa, Leah Rowland, and Jansen Jordheim. The Pirates fast pitch team with 3 with Kristen Lowen, Kylie Falk, and Ashlyn Furch. Hillsborough Central Valley with 2 with Peyton Quam and Kaylee Kittleson. And then Northern Cass with Addie Rust and Amethyst Billing here for the Enderlin Eagles, the 15 players that make up the 2024 All-Region 1 softball team, as they're taking some photos here. And we still have 2 more awards to give, with the Senior Athlete of the Year and the Coach of the Year as well. Again, Vikings pick up the win 6-5 in the Region 1 Tournament Championship game that took an hour and 57 minutes. Vikings with 3 runs across in the top of the 8th. Those sacrifice flies coming in large with productive outs to load the bases after Stieg hit a 2-run homer, as Josh alluded to, with 2 outs and 2 strikes. So that was the difference in that one, as, again, 5 players from Central Cass with Fletchock, Mitchell, Bussey, Preen, and Sherwhite. And for the Vikings, 4 players with Danica Rath, Fuchsa, Leah Rowland, and then Jansen Jordheim for the 4 players there. So just those 2 make up 9 of the 15 selections. As we'll have our Coach of the Year will be Mike Lowell of the Pirates and Scott Kost here from Central Cass. So that'll be your Coaches of the Year here in Region 1. As the Pirates, the 3 seed entering this tournament, and give kudos to Mike Lowell and his crew, again, getting the field ready over the rain saturation here in Richland County over the past couple of days. Tip of the cap to Scott Koss, getting the program back to state after failing to make it last year. And we'll get to the senior athletes. Danica Rath from the Kindred-Richland Vikings is your 2024 Senior Athlete of the Year. So that is your all-region team, your senior athlete, and your Coach of the Year as well. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll try to hear from some of the players. Also, we'll get through the final box score and put a bow on our coverage in Hankinson. Your final again, the Vikings 6, Central Cass 5. We'll try to hear from some of the players next around the corner.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits, including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career, doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
Did you know that Bassett Motors has over 300 pre-owned vehicles to choose from and a great selection of new vehicles arriving daily? At Bassett Motors, hometown hospitality and personal service is their goal. Come and experience a relaxed buying process. They will handle everything from financing and licensing to accessorizing your new vehicle. Give them a call at 701-652-2955 or check them out online at BassettMotors.com. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsborough.
Meet Blake, the messiest 4-year-old on the planet. He's no ordinary durability tester. Meet SmartStrand, no ordinary carpet. With all pet protection, it's the softest, most durable, easiest to clean carpet on the planet. When Blake's barn got a comfy makeover, SmartStrand came clean, even went up against a 2-ton rhino. Made to withstand all walks of life. Ask for SmartStrand, rhino tested, rhino approved.
Available at Carpet World, carpetworldfargo.com.
Well, joining us now, part of the Kindred-Richland Vikings, the Region 1 tournament champs, again here defending their title, now 6-5. Joining us first with the headsets is the Senior Athlete of the Year. That is Danica Rath. Danica, let's just talk about this game. You go the distance. You two teams have played in just tremendous softball games all year and in your careers. You played 11 innings in Kindred. Thankfully, we didn't need that tonight down in Hankinson, but win it in 8 innings. Just take us through what the mentality was in this one and how you guys found a way to come out on top here today.
What we've been really paying attention to is living presently. We don't want to worry about the future. We want to do one bat at a time, one pitch at a time. Living presently really makes it really good.
Let's talk about your teammate to the left of you, a couple of solo homers to get you up early in this game, 2-0 and 3-0. When she can do that, not just as a pitcher throwing to her, but seeing what she can do at the plate, what is that like?
She's amazing. She can really hit bombs. I'd be worried about her. Like, I don't think I could pitch to her. She just nails every single pitch. She's insane.
For you, Danica, you've seen this team so many times as a pitcher. How do you come up with new things going up against a squad that you are so familiar with?
I'd say what I really thought was there's nothing to lose. I just need to chuck it. That's what I keep telling myself. Just chuck it. It doesn't matter where it goes. Just chuck it.
What does it mean this season to win a Region 1 tournament championship, knowing that you qualified for state earlier today against a pesky Northern Cass Club? But what does it mean to win a title in number 2 to get to a state tournament again?
It feels very good. This is our last year. We want to leave this last year the best one. So we're leaving with no doubts. We leave it all on the field. This was an amazing year.
And for you, Danica, Senior Athlete of the Year, obviously your teammate Mackenzie able to come out as well as the all-region team. What does it mean from the coaches to be the Senior Athlete of the Year here in Region 1?
It feels really great. There's lots of good players out there, lots of good ones. It was probably a tough choice.
Good job, Danica!
It feels really good. I loved it.
It's a lot of fun to see. Final thing, trait or characteristic that you best like about the 2024 Vikings softball team?
I'd say we're all like friends. We're best friends. It's like playing with your best friends out there. There's nothing that can go wrong with playing with best friends.
A complete game here for Danica Rath. Congratulations on the win, and congratulations on being Senior Athlete of the Year.
Thank you so much.
We'll hear from Mix Fuchsa when we come around the corner. At Cass County Mutual Insurance Company, they provide services to homeowners, farm owners, tenants, seasonal dwellings, mobile homes, and farm and personal liability. Cass County Mutual Insurance provides local service to all policyholders and is working with clients in 19 counties in the southeast portion of North Dakota. For more information about Cass County Mutual Insurance Company or to find an agent closest to you, go online to CassCountyMutualInsuranceCompany.com and use their agent locator. Some of these interviews, again, brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. Joining us now is Mackenzie Fuchs, as we just heard from your teammate Danica Rath. Let's start there. What's it like, that pitcher-catcher combination with Danica in the circle, Mackenzie? What was that like, not just today, but throughout your careers and throughout this season?
It's been fun. She's a good pitcher. She pitches when she needs to. She's good. I don't know.
You're able to get a couple of home runs here in this one. Take us through the first inning one. What were you kind of sitting on against Mitchell? And then once you kind of let that one fly, what's kind of going through your mind seeing Leah do it just, 2 batters earlier?
Leah started it. I'll give her credit there. She just got me up. She got me ready, and she made me, want my pitch. So.
And then from there, able to get another home run in the 5th to make it 3-0. What's kind of going through your mind this third time at the plate? Are you looking for the home run? Are you just looking to get on base? Just kind of what's going through your mind at that particular juncture?
I'm looking to hit a ground ball. And it didn't happen, but I'll take that outcome too.
I'll take the outcome as well. Then all of a sudden, it's the 8th inning, able to get some runs across, to get intentionally walk. What did you see from your team in the 8th inning to hold off this Central Cass squad?
I saw resilience. Some of them had the bats they didn't want, and they ended up with the bats they wanted in that last inning. They powered through.
And the one thing that you've enjoyed most here, Mackenzie, about this team to find your way to get to Jamestown, what's it have been about this season that you've enjoyed the most?
I'd say resilience. We weren't where we wanted to, and we are now. So.
And you get another week plus of softball. That's got to be a good thing. The one biggest thing here about this team, what did you see from this squad in Hankinson for these handful of games that you hope to take with you once you get to the Buffalo City next week?
I hope for the hits. We're a good hitting team, and we're hitting the ball good today. So.
Yeah, no question. Last thing for you, senior class. What does this mean as a senior class? These upperclassmen that have been playing with each other for so many years to get back to a state tournament, to have a chance to obviously get the ultimate goal. What does it mean to go there one more time?
It means everything. I'm pumped. I'm ready.
You're ready. Bring the bat. Hopefully get a couple more homers. Mackenzie, congratulations on the win and best of luck in Jamestown.
Thank you.
Mackenzie Fuchsa with us here. We'll continue on our postgame show after this.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has brought in to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
Almost half of the energy used in homes goes toward heating and cooling the spaces we live in. Energy Star certified heating and cooling equipment can improve your comfort while lowering electric bills. Through its Bright Energy Solutions program, City of Hillsborough offers rebates for a wide range of energy-efficient equipment like heat pumps and central air conditioners. You can also get a rebate for having your cooling system professionally tuned up. Call the City of Hillsborough to learn more about rebates or visit brightenergysolutions.com.
As we continue with our post-game conversation here with these interviews, the head coach now for the Kindred-Richland Vikings, she is Sam Brandt. This interview, again, brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. Sam, you got to hear a little bit from Danica Rath. You got to hear a little bit from Mackenzie Fuchsa. What's it like as a coach, hearing from a couple of seniors who, 1, make the all-region team, 2, are a battering ram together, 3, Danica gets the Senior Athlete of the Year, and 4, find a way to grind out another Region 1 championship here, Sam?
You know, this is a prime example of allowing your journey to mean everything. You know, we had faced Castleton 3 times, and each time it got better and better and better. And anybody facing that duo, I don't want to play against them. I don't. They're so locked in. Dan's been stepped up in ways that she has never, and, you know, I've been coaching her since the 7th grader. And Fuchsa, you could ask her, yesterday she didn't have a great hitting day. You know, we were inside, we had to be in the cage in our crummy, you know, elementary gym. And she just had the grit, and she wanted to own every bat, and she did that from inning 1, as you could see.
Leah Rowland starts the game off with a solo homer. I mean, obviously, she has the capability to hit extra base hits and stuff, but what's going through your mind as a coach when she gets the first one, and then 2 batters later, there's another one, and all of a sudden, kind of ambushed, if you will, Whitney a little bit there, because the first couple innings, she only gave up 2 hits, but they were both solo home runs in that particular juncture.
Absolutely. If you go back within 3 times we played Castleton, it was only a 4-run game total. So we knew each run was going to make a difference. We knew we were playing for 1 run every time we were up to bat. The fact that Leah knocks one out, which she's capable of, whether she believes it or not, she is. And then for Fuchsa to come in and do the exact same thing, it should allow them to take a breath, exhale. Our defense is championship caliber, 100%. And Castleton is a great, great team. And Scott's a great coach. For us to go out, confidence, head held high, in the batter's box, you know, the 3 times before we struggled with her. And for them to come in and just be loose and relaxed, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Bottom of the 6th inning, that's where you found some adversity there. 6th inning, was it on Monday for Central Cass to get those runs? Then they get 3 runs. It was close. Catcher interference. There's 2-run homer, tied the game at 3. But then all of a sudden you're able to turn the page, not allow the game to finish in the 7th. Get out of the 6th inning with only being a tie game. What's the message to the club going to that extra inning in the 8th?
You know, championship teams have setbacks. You know, this game is more about failure than it is success. And for them to bounce back, be resilient, grind their teeth, grit it out. I don't know if I could have said that about this team in April. They are playing their best softball right now, prime time. We're peaking at the right time. I've got a lot of seniors, and I know they're ready for graduation. A lot of milestones, a lot of emotions. We're ready for a couple days of practice and getting ourselves ready and staying hungry.
Yeah.
We're definitely not satisfied.
Graduation coming up on Sunday. Last thing for you, Sam, before Mother Nature puts the lights out on this game, literally here in Hankinson on this one. This group of girls making it to Jamestown. It's another year that 11 times every year since 2013 that this program has made it to a state tournament. Obviously, you'll find out where you're going to get ranked or seeded and see the matchups. But what can this team provide to be a dangerous team from what you saw here in Hankinson throughout the season to what you ultimately want to get to is that Saturday, late afternoon, early evening game in Jamestown?
Yeah, this team, as you heard it from our seniors, they're all about each other. They, Danica can rely on her quality defense behind her. She can rely on her quality catcher behind the plate. It's going to come down to how much they believe in themselves in the box, how well they can bounce back from setbacks. And they are right there. We are, like I said, playing the best softball that we've been playing all year. And as long as they stay hungry for it, it doesn't matter where we get seated. It doesn't matter who we match up with. Okay, that's a good team. Show me something that's better than that in the state tournament. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. And I guarantee you nobody wants to play us.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are familiar that have been there before, like you said. I think you can kind of throw seed lines out the door once you get to state. Sam, is there someone you want to say hi to?
Hey, Dad. I know you're watching. You always are. I love you.
There you go. Sam, congratulations on the win, and best of luck in the Buffalo City next Thursday through Saturday.
Thanks, Chase. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, Sam Brandt, the head coach for the Vikings, as the Vikings are heading back to the state tournament with a Region 1 tournament championship. We're back after this.
This is Dustin Nagel with Dakota Heritage Bank. We're a family-owned community bank where decisions are made locally. At Dakota Heritage Bank, we can assist you with all of your banking needs, including checking and savings accounts, credit and debit cards, loans of all types, and more. We offer free mobile banking, online banking, and bill pay services. Just go to dhbanknd.com or download the mobile app for convenient on-the-go banking with Dakota Heritage Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Well, again, your final 6-5 on our Petro Stopping Center's postgame show as the Kindred-Richland Vikings are your 2024 Region 1 Tournament champions yet again here in Hankinson. I'm Chase Miller. Thanks to Josh Boyko for helping out throughout the week and alongside Jake Berkmeyer as well earlier on doing some games down here in Hankinson as well. Reminder, coming up tomorrow, scheduled on yourliveevent.com, the Minnesota subsection track meet in Ada. Also, we'll have EDC softball. That's scheduled on Friday and Saturday. Then join us for more games past Memorial Day, some graduations coming up, that and more, all on yourliveevent.com. Tip of the cap to both of these teams. This is what a Region Tournament Championship feels like, and it was a dandy today here in Hankinson. Kindred-Richland wins it 6-5. Leah Rowland, the solo homer. Fuchsa with a solo homer to make it 2-0 after 1. Fuchsa had another solo homer to make it 3-0 after 5. Aspen Preen for the Squirrels had a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 6th to make it 3-2. Fontaine came in. It was an interference on the third baseman to make it 3-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ammerman then delivered the goods, able to get in with 4-3 in the top half of the 8th. A couple of sac flies by Corey Johnson and Schmitz made it 6-3. Stieg with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th inning, but they come up short after a strikeout to finish it off here for Danica Rath. Danica Rath, the winning pitcher, a complete game. Wendy Mitchell, the losing pitcher, in a complete game, in a game that goes 1 hour and 57 minutes. So the Squirrels and the Vikings both heading to state, and we'll see what their matchups will be like a little bit later on this week as they will get the full tournament bracket, which will begin on Thursday, a week from tomorrow. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you'll have both Central Cass and Kindred-Richland from Region 1 in softball and Central Cass from Region 1 in baseball making their way to the Buffalo City. On behalf of all of our great sponsors, and behalf of our R&J and Halstead Telephone Company work behind the scenes, and Thanks again to Mike Lowell here in Hankinson for all the work he did for us throughout the weekend and into this week. I'm Chase Miller alongside Josh Boyko. Your final again from Hankinson, 6-5. Kindred-Richland picks up the Region 1 Tournament Championship on your liveevent.com. Enjoy the rest of your week.